Greetings, greetings, greetings. Friends, countrymen, Romans, lend me your ear. How are you, Nerd Herd? Hope everyone is well. Shout out to the mod, the headmaster herself. Well, they said they're having problems streaming to Instagram, but that's okay. We can stream just straight to where we normally stream to. Greetings, 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 everyone. Shout out to the nosebleeds. Shout out to the people in the bushes. Shout out to my neurodivergents who are just here to watch. Y'all see this private summer. Y'all see that. Y'all see that. Y'all see that. And you hear my lawn guy. Y'all see that private summer. You saw that big sweat bead drop down my forehead? Everybody got main character syndrome. Even the sweat. The lawn guy, the sweat, everybody got main character syndrome. But greetings and salutations to my entire Nerd Herd family. Shout out to 𝐒𝐢𝐧𝐞, the headmaster herself, taking care of everything. You guys could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with us, and we are eternally grateful. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me start with housekeeping business. Ephesians 6:12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities of darkness, against the rulers of wickedness in the spiritual realm and spiritual wickedness in high places. If you are here of God, you are here of a clean heart, mind, body, soul, spirit, and flesh, you are in the right place. But if you come with mess, shadiness, all the usual schmoozual suspect stuff, be gone with you. This is not your address. Next stop is yours. You got off the wrong stop. Here, this stop is the train to glory. Anyone at the wrong stop? Let's give them a moment so they can vacate. Shout out to everybody who's in the house. Shout out to my neurodivergents who sit in the background and watch. Shout out to everyone luxuriating from the comfort of their bed, the comfort of their desk, the living room sofa, wherever you may be, wherever this delightful day of July, the year of our Lord 2025 should find you. Make yourself comfortable, or anytime, replay gang, whenever you watch this. This stuff lives in perpetuity. But you know the routine. Welcome to the Nerd Herd. Take your shoes off by the door, grab a pair of fuzzy socks out the basket, jump on the couch, put your feet up, relax yourself. We'll be here for a while. Today we have a very, very sad story. Very awestruck. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? Ooh, child. Ooh, child. And listen, where them fans at is right beside me. So it makes no sense. Air on, but Private Summer said they the boss today. And so what do? We just relent and let this world be what it gonna be. How you doing, Headmaster? Shout out to our girl 𝐒𝐢𝐧𝐞, the Headmaster. Nicole Ann. Oh my goodness, my love, Nicole. I'm so sorry to hear that. Family members, we have condolences. Everybody, please put something in the chat. Let's put some condolences flower in the chat for Nicole Ann. Nicole said, my mama, a severely abusive alcoholic, just passed from leukemia last night. I love you all, so I'm here. Please pray for my sisters and father to receive Yeshua as their savior for healing of hearts. I certainly will. We certainly will. Father God, we hope that you have welcomed your child home and the ancestors were awaiting her. I pray that she knew the Lord before she left this earth. And I pray that in your time of grief, all of the memories, all of anything you can muster from the joy of each other, the common bond of sharing grief for the loss of your mom, I pray that you all, it envelops you all like a warm hug in your time of need. And never let anyone put a time limit on your grief. Grief is such a thing that takes its own time. So feel no need to get back to the world and put a mask on your grief. Allow yourself to go through the stages. In fact, there's a very good book you can read. It's called The Stages of Death and Dying, and it's by a psychologist named Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. Please look it up. Yeah. Ooh, child. I'm so sorry. Baby. I'm not exactly sure what's going on today. However, we just going to go with it. We're going to go with it. I'm not sure. Yesterday was wash day. Oh my. Oh my, did it take forever? But our condolences are with you and your family, Nicole, and we pray that your family and your sisters receive Yeshua. Shout out to Keisha. Keisha, also condolences are in order for Keisha. I haven't been live since I received your email. Our sister Keisha, please throw some condolences and flowers in the chat for our sister Keisha. Unfortunately, she lost her sweet dog, and we love you, Keisha. Our prayers and our well wishes are with you. We pray that in your time of grief, and I don't care if it's a dog or a cat or any other kind of pet, they're all living beings. And whoever we choose to love and whatever we choose to love, we are entitled to mourn. So everybody, please throw some carrots in the chat. Excuse me. Throw some flowers in the chat for our sister Keisha. We love you, Keisha. We are here for you. Please, you have the entire nerd herd. I speak on behalf of myself and the entire nerd herd. You have our sincerest condolences. And I'm so sorry for the loss of your baby. I pray that you find solace of the good memories. And I know it was a short period of time, but I pray that you find solace with your family, your loved ones, and all of the good memories in your time of grief. Don't let anyone rush you. The Bullets Gotti Show, Lavelle Lewis, Dominique Devereaux. Hello, darling. How are you, Dominique? Lisa Bruno. Hey, Lisa. Shushu. Cooks Crates. Hey, love. The carrots. Your last name means little carrot, Nicole? The carrots are what they throw in the chat for me when I got shot. The one thing outside of Keisha and Red, the two young women who came to my rescue, there was a stack of 5 boxes, stacked 5 high, of carrots, and it was the most stable thing in the sea of chaos. And I was able to stand on those stand beside those box of carrots and hold them to be able to hold myself up. And it allowed me to feel safe. And so that's what the carrots represent. It's far too early for the hackation to be up in here. Like, look here, hackation. Ain't nobody got time for this today. Okay? I just told you, yesterday was wash day. You see these private summers. Nobody got time for this. Please. Move down there, down the internet superhighway. Go somewhere. Lord God. Let me finish roll call, and so we can jump into the story. And thank you all for being here, guys. Trying to call all the names. Be sure to like when you come in so the algorithm knows that we're doing something and it helps the channel grow. Make sure you guys are subscribed, that you have the notification bell to all so that you're notified every time we go live or post story. And hey, Tony G. Hey, Barbara. Hey, Heather. Hey, Chronicles WBB. And everyone else in the chat. This is a very sad story, and it's so multifaceted. And there are a few lessons here. I mean, we can get into the depth of the story momentarily, but there are a few things going on here. Oftentimes, when a story comes to the news or the media or whatever you want to call it, people rush. Let me put this. Thank you so much, Headmaster. K-Lig is the headmaster, y'all. Need help, mental health 988. Call or text domestic violence 800-799-7233. These are the hotline numbers. You are not alone. If anyone is triggered by a story about domestic violence or anything of that nature, and this particular story may not be for you, I want to put an advisory notice. If you are triggered by those sort of things, please step away. You can always join us at a later time. We love you. But here at the Nerd Herd, we prioritize your mental health over clicks and views. And so please protect yourself if you have been a victim of domestic violence, if you yourself or your family members and loved ones have, and if you know that you're still triggered by it. We love you and we're not offended. Hey, Luna. Hey, Honeybee. Hey, Martha. And so this particular story today is of great consequence. We're going to learn a lot of things from this particular story. Hopefully, that is our intention. And hey, Mocha B, hi, my niecey. It's so important for us to discuss things like this because hindsight being 2020, there are lots of opportunities to see where things went wrong. Now, of course, the two people who know the ins and outs of their relationship are both now deceased. However, they had a child together, and she had an older child who was a part of it. I mean, you'll see on the video I'm going to show, this is a reaction to the story. A lot of times people have this, hey, LA Chic, a lot of times people have this thing, they want to be first. They want to run and be first. And I always have this thing where I seek God. Whenever I hear a story, I'm not one of those people here. So you guys know I'm 55, double nickels, glad to be here. However, there's something about wisdom, maturity, and age. Well, there is something that should be. It's not always the case. However, there's something about wisdom, maturity, and age. You learn if you're ascending the right way for your age and you're hitting your maturity milestones in life, you will learn that this is not a race of, oh, I'm first. That's the type of stuff when you do when you're young or when you have nothing else to celebrate about your accomplishments. I'm first. First ain't always the best thing, because what happens is when you rush to be first, you miss vital details. I always say time and distance tells the true story. Anytime you rush, there's lots of stories. I was watching another story the other day. You know, I go through YouTube and I'm looking for stories so I can bring to you guys. There was a story about a young lady and her son, and this was about a year ago. And everybody rushed to it. It had all these, oh, this happened. I spun the block on that story, and no, goes way deeper than a lot of people would think. But you wouldn't know that if your only objective is to be first. In these situations, we have to learn that being first is not of the greatest importance. It is far more important to be correct and to give the correct information. That is so much more important than being first. The details of this story are quite, hey, Hagstone Queen, the details of this story are quite disturbing. So as you saw the thumbnail, she found out the truth. She found out everything. There was a young woman. Her name is Timone. Timone. Everybody's pronouncing it differently. To me, it looks like Timone Michelle Williams, and his name was Todd Austin. They were a couple in Dallas, Texas. So when Timone had a company called Lux Credit Repair, or Lux, it was a credit repair company. As many women do, she was a woman of her own regard. She had accomplished, she was a mother. She had I believe at the time of her passing, the son is now 16 or 17, 15 or 16, something to that effect. But he's around that age. He's near the age of consent. She was a mother. She was a former Army sergeant. She was accomplished in a variety of levels. She was a serial business owner. She had achieved a lot for herself. She had this child. You know, that previous relationship didn't work out, as many do. And, you know, she saw fit to continue to raise her child, but she was a very successful and accomplished businesswoman. And then she met a man, Todd Austin. Now, while he looked the part, and the story was reported as, oh, very successful businessman. You know, he had the credit, Vana. What was it called? Credit Masters? Huh? Credit Champs? You hit a show producer back there. Credit Champs, credit repair business. And by all accounts, he was very successful at it. A lot of times, some people are very thirsty for attention. Now, mind you, social media is just that. It's social media. We have platforms that allow you to post your accomplishments, your things, what you're doing, what you're working on, things of that nature. However, oftentimes people are not aware that their insecurities or their shortcomings, I have eyes to see and ears to hear. And so when I look at people's social media, I don't necessarily see what it is that they're trying to show. What I'm able to see is what they think they're hiding. I know some people who are wanton oversharers of their personal life on social media. I mean, every single, the ones, that's my man, my man, my man, and this and that, and all these scenarios. And then as soon as things don't go right, you see all those scripture pages. Oh, praise the Lord, I could do bad all by myself. And listen, you don't need to tell everyone. Shout out to 𝐿𝐴𝐡𝐿𝐴, my love. Thank you for the super chat, love offering. Thank you for the love offering, my dear. Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. Guys, follow your sister 𝐿𝐴𝐡𝐿𝐴 if you're so inclined. Give tithes and offerings. And you see on the ticker at the bottom of the screen, my Cash App, top $, the dopest nerd, and the headmaster 𝐿𝐴𝐠𝐞, $𝐿𝐴𝐠𝐞. If you are so inclined, by all means, buy us a cup of coffee or something, however you see fit to love offering on the couch. Love offering on the show. Oftentimes people are submitting material for their social platforms, and while they think they're saying and projecting this, they're really saying and projecting that. So I know a few people, when I say oversharers, I'm talking I ate 3 grapes, I blew my nose, and my ear was itching. Why does the world need to know that? There are some things that are better left unsaid. We don't need to know every single thing. The ones that every time and there's nothing wrong with sharing your accomplishments. However, understand that these social media networks are created not for the reasons you think, but for other nefarious reasons. You got all those things on social media. I keep telling people for years, they're like, never have I ever swam in a lake, this, that. And then you go down this whole list and you're filling out all these things that you did in that. That's a data broker. Those are data brokers. They are data mining your information, and they make up all these things on social media. I swam in a lake. I skinny dipped 2 times. I did this. I did that. I smoked a little crack. Like all these different things. You put all these things, and they are building a data file on you. I never fill those things up. When I see people filling them out, I'm like, geez, Louise, who taught these people how to be adults? Like, why are you giving all of your intellectual property, your private, personal information? Can we discuss things? Absolutely. If you're out at a restaurant, sure, you can show. But I can tell you for every one of those things, I can tell you someone in real life who lost their life because of one of those things. You got people that post every time they go out. What is the harm in posting once you get back home? You had PNB Rock. He was out with his girl at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. They had a newborn baby. She just, because some people are always very performative. They always have to stunt and show. And so she posts that they're at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, and you had some wayward scuttlebutt, some lowlife that had nothing going for him and saw an opportunity. Ooh, I can make a lick. And he went to that Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle, and they said the guy who was in there was the guy who worked there called his friend and let them know. But they also saw it on social media. And so they couldn't understand why it was taking so long for them to get their food. Well, it took so long for them to get their food because he was giving the stick-up man time to get there. Stick-up man got there, came right in and killed him. This man had a newborn baby. And then the internet, because everybody wants to be first, and everybody's projecting their own, as my grandmother's favorite scripture, well, B90 for some is her favorite, but her second favorite is, so as a man thinketh, so is he. In layman terms, if you think everybody is a thief, it's because you're a thief. If you think everybody is a 304, it's because you're a 304. Whatever lives in your heart, you project that outward. That's why I'm always projecting information, sharing with you guys, speaking, telling you facts, sharing good deeds, sharing the word, whatever. The mouth speaks of the abundance of the heart. Whatever's in your heart, that's what come out your mouth or your fingertips on that internet. And so this particular young man, Mr. Todd Austin, was that stuntation guy. He was running a business, and so some would call it marketing. However, his went past the level of marketing because it was always a new car and a new this. He was basically flexing. So had he accomplished some things? Yes. However, the image that he put forth to the internet that he was this self-made guy who did everything himself and was this big hit and, ooh, look at me, look at me, look at me. However, the real story has come out. And I'm going to show you a video that even has the living testimony of the very woman who endured, who was the perpetrator of shooting this gentleman. He owned a credit repair business. He also sold hair. And then it said he was cooking also. He was a hustler. I'm not knocking his, hustle. We all do what we have to do to make ends meet and to provide for our family. But that's just the thing. He was a hustler, but he wasn't providing for his family. He wouldn't take care of his newborn. He made so much fanfare about this baby that he was having with Timon, Michelle Williams. So much fanfare. And then you're going to see in the video clip I show you where he said, F you and that baby. So let me tell you a little about what he did to her. Too much bragging. Way too much bragging. When she met him, he was living downtown in, I think, Dallas, in an apartment got obtained with a CPN number. Those of you who know what a CPN number is, it's for scammers. Okay? That's what the scammers use when they can't get nothing on their actual Social Security number. And so this woman met him. They met each other how it is. I don't care what major metropolitan city you live in. There's all these little events and little VIP events and this, that, and the third. And they met each other at the event. So people will always put their best foot forward. I always tell people, do not look steadfast on just the aesthetics that you see on the outside. You need to try the spirit by the spirit. You need to know a person by how their energy feels, by what they look like on the inside of their soul. See, when I say being naked with someone, I don't mean disrobed with them. I mean emotionally vulnerable, so where you can get to know this person, hear their stories, because people will tell you their story and therein lie, you will see a pattern. When she met him, he was living downtown in a fancy apartment, but he had gotten that apartment on a CPN. Shout out to Keisha, my love. Oh, thank you for the super chat, my love. She said, God gave it to me, paying it forward to you. We love you, sis. We appreciate you and we love you. And like I said, my condolences on the loss of your baby. My condolences. This gentleman had flossed so much that when she met him, because here's the deal. When women meet you, solid women, I'm not knocking anybody's hustle, but we know there's a hierarchy of people and there are categories of people. We know the City Girl crew. Listen, we're not calling them out of their name. They name themselves that. It fits a certain archetype of women. But at the same token, there's city boys as well, where they for the streets, they outside. The West Indies, we call that the road march king and the road march queen. They always out beating the road. Everybody know them. They always outside. They outside. They don't have any value for home life and inside. The only value they have for home life is to make their home look aesthetically pleasing because it's the backdrop of their photos for the gram. It's all stuntation. That tells you a lot about who a person is. So this gentleman living in this fancy apartment on a CPN, when she met him and they started to get to know each other and started dating, she realized she found a letter, I guess in his apartment or somewhere in his things. He started hanging at her house. You know how that goes. He started hanging at her house, and then it was add water, add sugar, and the pack of Kool-Aid, and you got a drink. Add liquid, you got a whole beverage. So once he started being there, then next thing you know, they leave a lot of items at your house. She discovers that his apartment was a CPN number, and that he didn't even pay the last 2 months rent. He had to get out of there. So she understood the culmination between the start of their relationship and his exit from that apartment, because he was getting evicted. So when a man is getting evicted from his thing, he starts to love you even more. Girl, you know, I don't know what I would do. I know we just met, but I feel like I've known you forever. I can't even imagine the thought of waking up and you're not beside me. Ladies and gents, beware of that. They call those hobosexuals. Hobosexual, not HOBO, as in ain't got nowhere to go, and so they're going to say whatever they need to say to you. Be careful. I know everybody wants love. I know everybody wants somebody to be with and to feel valued by and to feel appreciated by, and to have someone look you in your face and be like, you look beautiful. I love the way you smell. I love your dirty drawers. I just want to be with you all the time. Everybody wants that. No man is an island. No woman is an island. However, when they are love bombing you and they're so desperate, it just it feels like the best love you could ever imagine. Beware. Something in the milk ain't clean. Okay? Like in this case. So she figured, even though she had accomplished all of this, was herself already a mother, he said to her that he had 3 kids or 2 kids. And then her kid made the 3rd kid, the kid he had with her. They get into a fast relationship. They start being together, inseparable. She says, you know what? I like this guy. He seems like a good guy. He seemed decent. Let me teach him the game. So she taught him the credit repair business. Now, if you live in an apartment and you owe 2 months rent and you on a CPN and not your own social, you was already broke. And listen, everybody got to start somewhere, but you was already broke. She put you on and taught you the credit repair game because she had a credit repair. She also used to sell hair. She put him onto that. So every business she created, he copied it and made a duplicate business. Now, mind you, she's living her life like, okay, I got my Mr. Man. I got my little Kang. I got my Kang. We're going to do this. We're going to have, he talked the good one to her. And while he was a good student in his learning the business of credit repair, it means that she was a phenomenal teacher. See, because you can't be a good student without a phenomenal teacher. She taught him the game in, out, left, right, up, down, in, all up and through. And he learned it very well. He started to flex and buy all these pieces of, if you look at if you go on his pages or you look at all of the videos that's out there, one day it's a Rolls Royce, next day it's a Benz, a G-Wagon. Next thing you know, it's a this or that, knick-knack, paddywhack. He had all the cars, like Skittles, all of them. And that's attractive to people who are out there looking for a come up. Everybody's looking for a come up, unfortunately. Now, some people have a sincere desire to love a person, and then if they're together, they can come up with that person. There's no harm in that. But when you're looking for somebody to come up on for your own benefit, see, I always say this thing. When people broke, baby, they got famnesia. Woo, child, they can't think of nobody else but their family. Ooh, they got famnesia. They don't think about their friends. Baby, I just want to be with you. Baby, come on, let's watch a TV show. What we going to eat tonight, baby girl? Yeah, let's watch a TV show. Oh, you heard about that new series? Let's stream that series. Oh, yeah, they love you until they feel like they up one, and then they get amnesia. They forget from whence their blessings came. They forget from whence they learned the game of credit repair. So he was very, good in the credit repair game. He got a lot of people up on their credit thing, but they also said he was also a finesser. And so while be careful of some of these credit repair people, because while they're repairing your credit, they're repairing it so they can siphon your goods off. Be careful. So in all of his stuntation, she started to realize, hey, this guy is not necessarily living up to what I expected of him. We have a child. He was doing too much. She started not feeling well. And she just was like, this ain't working out. I'm not feeling so good. And then I don't like what he's doing. She caught him cheating a few times. And she was just like, okay, I just need you to leave. Now, if you listen to them red pill dudes out there, they'll have you believing this guy was a wealthy guy and he didn't want her no more. He cut her off and she just couldn't get with it. She couldn't imagine the thought of somebody else getting the good stuff she had. All lies. The house that he had to leave, that big house you see with the baby shower pictures and all, her house that she had when she met him. He had to leave that house. They made him leave the residence because it was her house. Okay. Now, like we as women do, I've done it myself in the past. We like to, we want to be Captain Saver. We're taught, women are taught with this, be nice, be kind, be a kind woman, be nice. Which means disavow your boundaries. Don't regulate your own emotions when something makes you feel uncomfortable. Disregard that just so you don't hurt other people's feelings and don't make other people uncomfortable. Be what everybody wants you to be. Nonsense, ladies. That's why they hate these young girls. Because, baby, my generation, the generation before me, those before it, and all these generations, maybe the millennials and some fence straddlers, they're still a little Captain Saver Hoey, a little Captain, give me one moment, please. But baby, you see that? What's that? What's that, Vonna? Gen X? Gen Z? Huh? The young girls, the city girl age and all of that. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me read these disclaimers. A homosexual is someone who pursues romantic relationship mainly for financial support or housing rather than genuine affection. Cite your sources, boo. Why, thank you, Headmaster. And the links are in the chat if you need help on any of these topics. Narcissistic abuse. www.narcissisticabuserehab.com. A homosexual. What is a homosexual? Definitions and examples. By all means, guys. You see the Headmaster is on point, baby. She making sure y'all get this good information. And guys, we are low on likes. Support the dopest nerd with tons of likes and share. Let the algorithm know we're doing something great. It helps us grow the channel, guys. You love what we do here. We offer benefit to you and something that's positive to you. Tell a friend or 2 or 10. And so she afforded this life to this man that afforded him to, thank you, my love, Gen X. Well, what Nirvana? The city girls generation, who are they? So the millennials and everybody after them, the Gen Zs, the alphas, or whoever. I think alphas are too young, but whatever. These young people out here, the young people and them don't play them games. You see them young girl? Them young girl be like, where my money at? Huh? You ain't got no money? Bye. That's why the red pill guys don't like these young ladies who speak for themselves. They rather those young girls' mother who sat there, I made your favorite dish. What time are you coming home? Texting them 900 times. Are you on your way? I thought you said you'd be home. Today was my birthday. This, that. And then you sitting there and you waiting for him. You done cook the meal and, oh God, you have on your pretty dress. Put on your red dress and slip on those high heels. And you're sitting at the table and your mascara's all run down and you're so mad. Your wife, you've been crying and you're everything wrong down your face and you look like a mess, but you're fully dressed, you're well dressed up nice for the man, and he ain't come home because he by his side piece. They want those women. They love those women, honey. That was a generation, honey. To sit by the thing, and then when he comes to the door, you're like, where have you been? I'm not going to put up with this anymore. I've had enough. Who do you think I am? You don't have any respect for me. And then they take the plate and they throw it against the wall. Now you got to clean up all that. Because he ain't cleaning it up. He ate where he was at. Where he was at, baby, he ate, but he ain't getting no food. Okay? But I digress. Don't make me be silly here today, guys, because this is a very serious topic. However, they resent these city girl generation. You know why? And I'm not saying that the city girl generation is so good. I think there is a happy medium for them. I think they too outside and too wild with it, whatever. But I think somewhere in the middle is a happy medium. However, Absolutely, let me put this up here. Dominique Devereaux. Hello, darling. How are you, darling? That's a very Dominique Devereaux picture, too. You look smashing. She said, you see, Natanya, she did everything she was supposed to in the courts, and they don't protect. Absolutely. Let me tell you what this sucker did. You're 100% right, my sister. So when things started going bad, she said, I need you to leave. He left when it set him up a new place, but then he started keep coming back to the house all the time, terrorizing her. So they had a baby, and for some reason she wasn't working for the baby. And I suppose the story will come and tell it. The real deal tells on itself. So she had to stay home and take care of this child. For whatever reason, she wasn't working. And I think this, hey, Margie, the story kind of reveals itself. And I think it was through that time they had broken up, but he kept coming back. Now, they did share some businesses because, you know, as women, what we do, we want to help a ninja out. So they were not married. I would have chopped that sucker's access off. You're not going to have access to my money. I love me more than I love your willingness to not, more than I love my desire to not make you feel hurt. I am a steward of whatever good tidings I sow, whatever wealth I generate and build, whatever God has blessed me with, the knowledge God has blessed me with to be able to facilitate a business and make money. Yeah, the baby boomers is the stay at home and cry chicks. They like the baby boomers. And they like Gen X. The women who, you know, some of them chicks is cry baby too. And no disrespect, I'm just saying how they were raised and how they get down. However, this is what was happening. They don't like the city girls who like, oh, you ain't got my money? Okay, well, let me call boo. Yeah, this ninja ain't got my money. What you doing? You gonna come school me? All right, I'll be there in a little while. They don't like those chicks. See, these are the generation of the women who cried and sat at home. That was the generation also of men who understood what it was to be the man. They knew that I pay all these bills. That's why a lot of those women stayed. A lot of those women stayed because the man paid all the bills. But see, they thought with paying all the bills, it earned them the right to do what they want. And that's the generation that we come from. These ninjas want to go 50-50 with you, like y'all roommates. They want all of the man rights, authority, power, but none of the responsibility. They want to go 50-50 with you. They want to be your roommate. What you bring to the table? Excuse me, sir. Do you mean this lovely table, this lovely teak wood table in my home? What am I bringing to the table in my home? Ladies, let me tell you something. If a man is moving in with you, you already bubbling backwards. You have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. Do not move a man in your house. Do not move a man in your house. If you move a man in your house, you have problems. I'm telling you now, because any man who sees himself as a man's man and is worth his salt don't want to live in your house. Now, you and him could live together. Y'all could get a place together. You could rent out your house, maybe a corporate rental, whatever. Sign it up with the film industry and let them rent it. But you and this, he should be able to provide a place that all you could live together, a house he's making for y'all to live together. When he move into your house, you got a headache. You might as well go down the week you let him move in, you might as well go down to the court and get the eviction paper one time, because I'm telling you, you are signing up for a headache. Any ninja who like, oh, I'm moving here. Oh, which is going to be my space? I need a man cave. Woo-hoo! Baby, am I telling all the truth or what? Am I lying? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all know that I'm telling the truth. Never move a man in your house. Because he will resent you. He will love the ability that he gets to live in your house, and he will resent you that you had a house to let him live in. Does it make sense? Absolutely not. Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. The week you let him move in, now I caution you, don't let him move in. But if you think she's a know-it-all, she thinks she know everything, that dopest nerd, she don't know what she's talking about. He loved me. He said he gonna take care of me. Girl, if you let that man move in, go to the courts and get the eviction papers one time because you will be using them. So he kept coming to her house unannounced. I'm going to show you some video footage where he came to the house unannounced, or he came back to the house. He must have been there and then left and then came back. And he put the code in and the code didn't work. Now, there's two things in this video. Because it could have very well been, thank you, Martha, it could have very well been that the code worked perfectly fine. But if you look at his posture and his gait and stance in that video, you will see that he looked unsteady. He looked drunk or high. And so he came, you're going to see a very volatile scene where he comes in and he is hella abusive, violent. I mean, I was terrified and I was watching it, and I don't scare easy because, baby, I don't scare easy, but Lottie ain't scared of nothing. Lottie ain't scared of nothing and nobody. And baby, she like to party. She don't cause trouble and she don't bother nobody, but baby, she get down for her crown. And so do I. You're not coming up in my, this is my sanctuary. There is something called the castle doctrine. The castle doctrine. When you come inside the door of your house, you are the king of your castle and no one has a right to encroach on it. You don't have to answer the door to the police. If the police come to your house, even if they have an arrest warrant, if they don't have a search warrant, you are not under any obligation to answer your door. And that's another lesson y'all need to learn too. Stop opening the door for them terrorists. They always say they just want to ask you a question, and next thing you know, you hemmed up in the Chanels and your face got road rash and you all beat the heck up. Yeah, you're going to get some money in the lawsuit later down the line, but you got to survive first. Stop letting these terrorists in your house. The castle doctrine dictates you do not have the, you're not under any obligation to open your door for anyone. Just because your doorbell ring don't mean you, listen, black households, y'all know. Put a 2 in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. Baby, in a black household, that doorbell ring, ding dong. Everybody sit there and look. Kids ain't even flinching because you ain't going to no door. Who sent you to the door? You somebody, you pay for that door? You expecting somebody? Anybody call you and tell you they coming up? Where you going? Sit down. When I tell you in the black house, they ain't moving. Especially if you didn't call first and say, hey, I'm in the area. I was going to stop by. Is it okay? Baby, you can ring a black doorbell till the cows come home. This new generation, somebody ain't tell y'all, because I be seeing y'all on all kind of TV shows. Hello, how can I help you? Who sent you to open your door? Who sent you to open the door? People just ring my bell all the time. I be like, what you doing here? It's only 6 houses on my block. You had to get here to get here. There, you got a phone with you 24/7. First of all, you cannot just stop by me. I don't play that. And if you do happen to just stop by, happen to find your ass somewhere else. The headmaster has put www.findlaw.com, and this is the criminal law basics that states you have stand your ground laws. That's right. Please understand that. Make sure you're copying all these links for the benefit of your life, because God forbid, hopefully no, but God forbid, you may very well need this lovely information that we always share with you. That's why I come to give y'all information. Now, other nationalities, I'm not exactly sure what y'all do, but you see all this stuff I be seeing on TV. A kid runs to the door and open the door. What? Baby, in a black household, they be calling you 4 extra. That young man who blew his hands off with the fireworks, because baby, you will lose a nub. You will be down to the nubs. You touch a black woman's door or a black man's door as a child to open the door because somebody rang. You don't open the door. Your grandmother could be on that porch. You don't let her in unless you check with your mama first. And that's your mama's mama. That's just how it is. I see a lot of other people doing all kinds of craziness. I don't understand it. It is not that is not the culture from which I grew. Thank you, Headmaster. The castle doctrine. Please, by all means, take this link and understand what the castle doctrine means. You are not under any legal obligation to open your door for anybody. No one, not even the cops. If they have an arrest warrant and not a search warrant, the arrest warrant is catch me when you can. You got to see you when I see you. There is something called a consensual contact. They can walk up to you and say, hey, you look kind of suspicious here, whatever. What are you doing here? What's your name? You can say, am I free to leave? Am I being detained? I don't answer questions. Am I free to leave? Am I being detained? Okay, but you're free to leave. And you get the heck on, because you can't, there's nothing you can say to the cops to make them give you your way. So get the heck on. Y'all be trying to stand there and pontificate and prognosticate. Well, no, because this and that. Shut your mouth. The Fifth Amendment give you a right to silence. Shut your mouth. I don't answer questions. If you don't answer no questions, they have no investigation by which they could do. Understand your rights. Understand your constitutional rights. I don't answer questions. I don't answer questions. I don't answer questions. Am I free to leave? Am I being detained? Am I being detained? They can't, if you don't answer any questions, they cannot ensnare you and entrap you. You say the wrong thing and it turns into a Terry stop. When it turns into a Terry stop, then they can ask you for your ID. And then you have to give it to them. Because they will say they have an articulable suspicion of a crime or whatever. Because you're running your mouth. I plead the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth. Shut your mouth and move along. Hey, Bethany, how are you, my love? Shut your mouth and move along. Y'all talk too much. But back to the story. She asked this gentleman to leave. He came to the house and carried on and broke the door or the wall because he thought the code was changed. Now, the code very well could have been changed, or he was drunk and he put the code in wrong, because I done seen that happen too. And he carried on so bad, and the child was pleading with him. The older son was pleading with him. And he just didn't care. And that tells you so much that tells you everything you need to know. Wait till I show you this. Because I know that all these little outlets been telling you, oh, this wealthy businessman, and he didn't want her no more. And she was disgruntled because these hoes be wanting your money and they can't take it. No, nothing no go so. Nothing don't go so. And here's one thing. You got a good black girlfriend, honey. You got you a good Judy. She gonna set the record straight. Now, she might think she's protecting you, and she might say, oh, no, not this and this, whatever. But one of your good Judys is going to tell it all. She's going to set the record straight. She's going to say, oh, what y'all not about to do with my friend. You're not about to drag my friend. Here go the real deal. Here go these text messages to prove it. Get yourself a good Judy, honey. Get yourself a good Judy. Everybody needs a good Judy, because, baby, if you let the other people tell your story, the joke will be on you. You got people that hate you for what you've accomplished. You even got family members that hate you for what you accomplished. So, mind you, this woman had these 2 children. She had one with him and an older son. And I have to say, before we go any further, on behalf of the Nerd Herd and myself, the dopest nerd, Headmaster 𝐒𝐢𝐧𝐞, we and the entire Nerd Herd, we wish sympathy for these 2 children, for the loss of your mother, for the trauma that you are enduring. We pray the anointing of the Father God's continued protection over you. I pray that you guys are not separated, that the good Lord sees fit to put you in the care of a good, loving family member that will facilitate your upbringing and raise you properly. And may the warm memories of your amazing mother envelop you like a warm hug in your time of grief and need. And I just feel a level of sadness and sympathy for tonight. Hey, for sure, what's the deal, my brother? This case in Texas of the brother who was shot in the barbershop by his ex-girlfriend. The headmaster has given us another link, www.primetimer.com. Features Who Was Todd Austin? Reports surrounding the death. And so when he asked her, she asked him to not keep coming back to her home. She decided he's going to live elsewhere. She's going to stay in her home with the children. She wants him to continue to provide for his child that she had for him. And she will continue to take care of the child and do what she has to do in rearing her kids. This man decides he's going to go, get a fancy another apartment because he's the credit specialist. He know how to finesse that credit. And so it looks good. And of course, he wants to gaslight her. He thinks he's gaslighting her. So he's on a boat with all these chicks with their buns showing. And mind you, they shapely and ting. But, when you know the real deal about a ninja, you don't care about none of that. He was more upset that she was not gaslit. So he started to do wicked things. They shared their business account. And for the love of God, this is the mistake, ladies. When you leave, your money leaves with you. You don't share no damn accounts with a man that's your ex, because he don't give no about you. The same thing that makes you not want him to live in your house with you and your children because you don't feel safe. Protect your money like that. But she believed that he would do the right thing. And so she did not, she allowed the business accounts to stay together. Well, guess what he did? He was methodically plotting on her because some people can't see you be without them and do good. Hey, Kiki Eyes, how you doing, my love? They can't see you move on and not be sweating them. It drives them crazy. So he decides he wants to do something nefarious. Now, mind you, when I show you this video and you see this astounding house with the lovely curved staircase and grandeur and all of that with the baby shower pictures, that was her house that she had when she met him, and he was living in an apartment downtown that he was 2 months late on the rent or 2 months default on the rent, and he got it with a CPN. She retired from the military, all that. Well, this joker, because he couldn't get her wound up and aggravated and acting crazy, decides he's going to, and I don't know why he was allowed to be able to do this, because this is one of the biggest problems. He removed her name from the business account she started. She added his name to the business account. He removed her name off of it, then created a whole new email address to divert all emails elsewhere. Once he took her name off of it and put the new email address, he emptied the account out. By some accounts, $96,000. By other accounts, $250,000. Another account said $500,000. But she had cake. She had Skrilla. She had manyan in there. He took it all. So when she tried to, they say she went to Vegas with her friends or her sisters or whatever, her friends. She came back, all the money was gone. So when she was like, wait a minute, all the money is gone, she then went to the courts to seek legal remedy. She filed a whole bunch of lawsuits against him. She did the steps that they say you're supposed to do. Baby, the courts ain't do nothing. So wait. Once he took her name off and he stole the money, guess what he did after that? He filed a fraud complaint. She would pay her mortgage for her home through her business account. He filed a fraud notice for 18 months worth of mortgage on her home, her money, her house, 18 months worth of mortgage payments. He said, this is a fraud. And they reversed them all. The mortgage company then, she's like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? So he's doing all these nefarious things. She's just trying to raise her kids. She frustrated. He done cheated him. She then finds out that even though it was supposed to be 3 kids, the 2 kids he had when she met her and the baby they had together, and then she had her own child, she finds out this ninja got 9 kids. He been cheating on her, making outside babies. Ain't taking care of the 9 kids. Ain't taking care of them, including the baby he had with her. He filed a fraud allegation on all of the mortgage payments. The mortgage company for her house that she owned then sent a $55,000 demand notice. And when she said, I can't pay it, they put her house into foreclosure. Mind you, she got his young newborn baby that she just had, her son and her in her house. He done stole all the revenue from all of her businesses. She was just emotionally broken, got her jacket. And guess what? And then, like I told you, she was taking care of that baby because the baby was having complications and sick, and she wasn't feeling good. She found out he gave her HIV. Let me come back for that one. She fighting this ninja in court to get her money back. Because when you're a business owner, most business, here, let me tell you something. I've been a business owner forever and a day. Most business owners don't get themselves small business. They don't get a small business healthcare policy for their company. Or they may get it for the company. They don't get it for themselves. So when you own your own business, and let's say you're going through something and you're not working for a while, and you're like, okay, I'm going to just live off this savings for a while. Let me get this stuff together. I'm stressed out. This man done took me through, put me through, whatever. She finds out that he has 9 children, not 3 like he claimed. Oh wait, I didn't even tell you the piece de resistance. He got nine children. He been cheating and making baby on her and all kind of thing. They found out the guy was on the DL. As if it wasn't bad enough. So, and here's the funny thing. When I first heard the story, I said, Father God, what is this? Nothing no go. So something don't sound right about this. I said, and the first knowing that Father God, the Holy Spirit dropped in my head was HIV. Promise to God. I said it to Nirvana. I said, he gave that girl HIV. No woman, no black woman who has worked so hard to accomplish all of this leaves her children parentless unless she feels like there is nowhere else to turn. We also find out that her mom died 3 years before. Her brother had a massive stroke, and her father had passed away. She was at her wit's end. It's one thing for him to cheat. You move on, you take your kids, you're like, all right, I got these kids. Listen, I raise kids, you raise kids, everybody raise their kids, they move on. Everybody go, unfortunately. Cheating is far more common than not, unfortunately. Because we live in a world where this life is a school, and a whole lot of people is in remedial classes in special ed or flunked out totally. Whole lot of people are friggin' in their school journey of life, they are expelled. We live in a diabolical way. Now, mind you, not only did he take her money, you see that big blue Cybertruck with the blue wrap that said Credit Champs? That's what he bought with her money. He flexing all over the thing with a blue Cybertruck wrapped in Credit Champs. And then he was taunting her by, on her Ring camera, driving by the house over and over again with the blue thing so the Ring camera could pick it up. He was harassing this poor woman. She felt like she had no, listen to me. Anyhow, her brother didn't have a stroke and he was able, buddy, he would have probably put the pause on that ninja. But when your brother, you're going to see a picture, her brother was like, he couldn't even stand up and take care of it. They were helping him stand up in the hospital. They were trying to teach him how to walk again post-stroke. And her father was gone. And her mama, listen, if her mama was here, her mama would have been in his face. Like, let me tell you something, Ninja. You see this one here? Well, I got these tiger stripes on my stomach. You see this one here? Not this one. Not too much on this one. You hear? Another lady sued him too. Yes. And so I hear some of the other mothers. But this ninja walking around giving a house in Virginia. Now, mind you, let me tell you another thing, ladies. When you find them guys that have a whole set of children out there with a whole set of women, it is a case of thou doth protest too much. AKA, you doing so much to hide what's obvious. When men wantonly, with wanton disregard for their own health and safety, are having multiple unprotected interactions that yield babies, which that means you are giving seminal fluid, you're not business about me and you don't business about yourself. You don't business about yourself. So I don't endorse violence. I am a survivor of gun violence. I know gun violence is a pervasive scourge on this world and society. Globally, not just this country, in the global world. Gun violence is a scourge. I don't endorse violence. I wish she would have just been comfortable sitting in jail and writing that out. I ain't saying she wasn't going to do nothing to him now, because if anybody deserved something, as he deserved. He deserved. Might be you should have put it in the leg. So mind you, she went to one of her court hearings with him. This ninja, she taught him the game of business so good. He used everything she taught him against her. The first court hearing, the judge found on his side because he methodically sat there and plotted on her. He plotted on her for a long time before she ever knew anything was wrong, taking her name off of everything. You know how diabolical you have to be to take my name off of an account that I created. He should have never been able to do that. But to remove her name off the account, change the email address, and then take her money And in the interim, then so diabolically put a fraud report and challenge the authenticity of all of the payments. And you know, some of y'all fancy young generation, oh, give me I don't need no statement. Send it to the email. So once he took over the email, she had no access to the email. He didn't change all the passwords and everything. She couldn't access the email. And guess what she was not able to access? Records to show that the money was hers. Bank statements to show her name on the bank statement before he took it off. Because y'all like stuff too much on it. Look, I old fashioned, I could pick up 500 bills in here. I always have a mail and a mail and a mail. I don't play that, I like paper. Because here what you can't tell me, that I ain't read this on this paper. I got a nice big file cabinet over there out of still file things. Y'all so fancy in this new fancy smancy where I don't need my receipt. I tell people all the time, why you don't want your receipt? Because if you walk down the road and somebody say she kicked me in my eye, she bust out my car window and teeth out my thing, and you was just at the gas station and you know full and well you didn't do it, that receipt proves that you where you were at the time he said that you bust out his gas. But y'all take y'all receipt. Hey miss, you want your receipt? Y'all be taking them receipt. Are y'all insane? Are you insane? I don't care if everything is digital. Y'all are setting yourself up for a fail. That's why he was able to finesse her with this newborn baby and the stress of knowing that she was HIV positive, trying to get her mind wrapped around that. She thought listen, women don't sign up for temporary, especially if they let you if they bring forth your destiny in their womb. If they collect that seminal fluid and allow you to create a soul tie by inside of maybe. That women don't sign up for temporary, not grown women. We don't sign up for temporary. Excuse me. The headmaster has said the views expressed by the dope is not protected by the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. He was able to commit acts, egregious acts against her. It is downright evil and sadistic. He is able to commit acts against her because, listen, my mother always used to say, the shortcut is the long cut in the end. I've been saying it to my kids their whole life. The shortcut is the long cut, baby. Give me that print. I don't take e-statements on nothing. First of all, e-statements mean they could go in your account and take what they want. You know how much times I caught companies making a mistake? You know how much time I caught companies making a mistake? If you just let them auto draft, bomba, how we was paying bills before auto draft existed. No, I will send you the money. I will make the payment. You're not going to just dip in my account and be taking shit. And then all they love eating. I want that e-bit. I don't want no mail. Give me e this, e that. E this is E is how he was able to finesse her. Plus, there were other people who were the Credit Champs clients that were also getting robbed, finessed, taken advantage of. They said he was a serial manipulator. And we know he was a serial because, baby, in the big 20, 25 people out there raw dogging it, well, all they're mad. All they is real mad. And I hope ain't nobody on the nerd herd getting it how they live it like that, because that's insane. 2020. Listen, perhaps we will discuss that on another. So you know how the ladies get together and y'all discuss stuff. I have an aversion to fluid. I don't play that. I don't want no interactions with it. Keep it to yourself. God gave that to you. Have at it. I don't play that game. I don't play that game at all. And I'm happily celibate and been for years. And I'm good with that. Perhaps some of you should try it. It's very good for you. Rather than spreading yourself thin in temporary situations, creating soul ties, which prevent you from then finally, you ever know somebody met their soulmate? They seemed like they were just the perfect combination. And you just can't get right. You can't figure out why this man you love and he love you and y'all just can't get right because you've created so many soul ties in your life that now that you've met your soulmate, you have nothing left to cleave to him with. And he done created so many soul. Child, y'all men now, y'all know y'all got soul ties out there. Baby, y'all got soul ties. Y'all got soul ties. Y'all out there getting it how you live it in this big 2025. Y'all are insane. The views expressed by the dopest nerd are protected by the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. This is all very diabolical, but I don't want her life to be in vain. And that is why I am pointing out. Margie said, I got a file cabinet. Yes, honey, you know us Golden Girls, boo. We don't play. We want that paper. Yes, honey. That's my sister, Margie. Absolutely, honey. We don't play. All these young girls with I can't be bothered. Just send me an email. No, nothing. I want my paper. Thank you, lovely Cherokee, for the She said, hi, the dopest nerd. Blessings continuously to you. Respect. I send with you. Peace. Hey, peace, love, and soul. Thank you, my love. Thank you, lovely Cherokee. Thank you for supporting the channel. We appreciate you for that super chat. Thank you so much. We need to have these discussions. These are the things that we need to discuss. They say combat is for the youth, and wisdom and guidance is for the elders. And I know I look great for my age. Take a look. 55, double nickels. But we are the elders to you youngins that's out here getting it how you live it. The outside crew, the city girl crew. Protect your loins. Protect your loins. There was a song, I sang it for y'all the other day. One man can't satisfy her. She needs more wood for the fire. The sex price getting higher. Is more money she desire. House, car, and land she require. But from the prostitution work she won't retire. Flames and fire. Burn the sex seller and the buyer. Now this ninja out here having, and be weary of the men who have a bunch of, yes, honey, just spreading them house in Virginia everywhere. You get a house, you get a house, you get a house in Virginia. 2025, are y'all insane? Not my nerd herd, them people out there in the internet. Guys, these are the conversations we gotta have with each other. Don't listen. I'm not saying there are no good guys. By no means am I saying that. There are some phenomenal men of all kinds, but they are becoming far and few between. Not the least of which is some of y'all is looking for this. I'm looking for my king. Y'all better get some of these short kings. There's some short kings out there. There's some good guys, but y'all want 6 feet. He got to be 6'2" and better. Dark. He got to have, cut the shenanigans. There is some 5'8" kings that are loyal as the day is long, will treat you like the queen that you are, will love you, protect you, prevent any nefarious things from happening to you. Yes, yes. Tell them 𝐒𝐿𝐴. She said, if you haven't already, please hit the like button for the dopest nerd. Thank you. Thank you, my baby. You understand? There you go, Keisha. Everything that looked good don't mean is doing good. So, look, social media has the ability for people to present any little situation they want. I know, baby, trust me. I know people that be stunting on social media. And as the old people used to say, ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out. But they look good online now. Honey, this story popping. How they thing is laid out. It's laid out in this lovely aesthetic. It's so fancy. It's so fancy. I said, well, you fancy it? Fancy. And it's all smoke and mirrors. Listen here. You see them one that need to tell you everything. Oh, I'm at this booth. Oh, we went to the store. Oh, we ate this. Oh, I ate a sandwich. Oh, I had a cracker. Oh, we drank some wine. Oh, we did that. You are living externally. You operate on external locus of control. You want happiness predicated by likes. I hear people have conversations. I posted something that she didn't even like my what? What number? You is an adult. You fret no who like and who don't like your thing. And excuse me. Oh, guys, excuse me. I'm not talking about, hey guys, throw up the likes so the channel knows that we're doing something good. I'm talking about I posted a picture of my food at this restaurant and she hated. She ain't even like my food. I got people that there were times on back in Facebook land, people used to be like, if I post a picture, people be like, hey girl, I ain't seen you in a long time. Because I would never post a picture of myself. I mean, far and few between for me to post a picture because I just didn't feel like they know what I look like. I ain't got to be posting no pictures of myself up. I just didn't understand this. Everything is a breast out the door, body out the door. You got women that all their pictures is they looking back at it. Like, what? And then you're like, I want a good man who coming to the table with something, who loves me and who da. But every picture is a backshot picture. Like, what do you understand what you are portraying? Do you understand that this thing that you say you want is not what you're attracting because you're portraying body, yada, 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 yada. And then why does everybody have to be so skin out the door? We all had our little short skirts and thing, but this is too much. You are peddling wares. People got to chill. My mother and them used to, and my grandma still go, well, leave a little mystery to yourself now. If everything is out, it's the old adage, if you got a cow, if you got cows in your backyard, you don't need to buy milk. You understand? Why would you need to buy milk if you got a cow? Why? You don't need to buy milk. And you shouldn't be drinking milk anyway, because milk is growth hormone for baby calves, not for humans. And especially Black people, you know, we are lactose intolerant by nature. And so that is the source of a lot of excess mucus, inflammation, and other impurities in your body. But I digress. Let's move back to the topic. So this cornball decided that he was going to do all of this to this woman. She was so frustrated. She was so at her wit's end, because it's one thing for the man to cheat on you. You say, you know what? He cheated. He ain't trying to live right. I ain't got time for it. Listen, I'm going to just do me. Oh, what up, West in Peace? What's the dealie, mama? I ain't got time for it. I'm not going to stress myself out. I'm going to move on. If you enjoy the content, hit the like button and subscribe. It's a free way to support the channel, and it really helps out with the algorithm. Thank you for joining the Dopest Nerd and the Nerd Herd. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with us, and we appreciate it. Listen, I am telling you, listen, there you go, Keisha. It attracts the wrong attention. When you conduct yourself like that on social media, always posting, look back at it, this and that, you attract the wrong thing. You attract a ninja like this. This is who you attract. Why buy the milk when you can get the cow for free? Thank you, Headmaster K-Leg. Why? And so this was the situation. She felt frustrated. She felt like he eviscerated her entire existence. It's one thing she had one child and she was making her way with that. But when you give me a new child, and then she was like, listen, you took all of my money, this, that, the other. I'm trying to take care of the baby, this, that. There's messages where you see he had sent her. She's like, I need money to take care of my child. Give me back my money. He said, F you and the child. Well, that tells you everything you need to know. So when the court case came, one of the many court cases she filed came, and because she did not have proof, because he changed the name, changed the email, locked her out of access to the other email. She couldn't gain back access to the email for nothing. She had no documents to prove, even though I'm sure she had one or two pieces of documents, but the court said he's proven what he think. He know, you know, there's some manipulators that know how to, they like to be Mr. Good Guy, you know. I know plenty of those, honey. Narcissists, oh baby. Narcissists have mastered the art of, they could be a devil when they get, hey sir, how you doing? Good morning, sir. Your Honor, sir. Good morning. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, please. Yes, ma'am. Sir, I have this, I help this woman, you know, and lie on you. And you so emotionally charged, because by women, by definition, we are emotional beings. And so you're frustrated. You know what he did to you. You also know that if you walk into the court and you say, he da 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 or whatever, without the proper precautions and stuff, you know, women walk in the court, men walk in the court and say, she did this, this, this. Women walk in the court and say, I feel like he this, I felt. You cannot litigate feelings. I've been telling women, you cannot litigate feelings, my love. Don't tell me about the I feel this and I feel that and I feel. Do not litigate feelings. You will not win. That's why chicks go in there now. Well, I feel like he's starting on me because he got a new girlfriend and he just want to bring all these women around my baby. And I told him he can't bring nobody around my baby. And he got all these women around my baby. And I feel like he's trying to, as soon as you keep saying, I feel like, you know what the court hit you with? That's why I don't let him see my baby, because I don't got time for that. He don't want to be given. And they hit you with alienation, parental alienation. You know how much women get charged with parental alienation? Because they always, I feel. I keep telling women, when in Rome, and listen, your friendly neighborhood radio host told you, think like a man, act like a woman, think like a man. He told y'all. But y'all was like, and listen, I don't agree with everything he says. Well, for that, he was 100% right. These duckbill clips be tight. You child caught too many locks. Okay. Yeah. Think like a man, act like a woman, think like a man. Y'all don't be thinking like a man. Y'all be wanting to. K-Link said, at Nikki, see you in the replay. Oh, Margie said, I live with the narcissist. My love, I am so sorry for that. You have got, I'm going to send, so listen, there is, K-Link, do me a favor, pull up Dr. Romani, R-O-M-A-N-I. Dr. Romani is a psychologist. And she has a litany, and this goes for all of y'all, for how to deal with a narcissist. If nothing else, I would suggest that you could leave. However, I know that's not necessarily possible for everyone. And so please pull up Dr. Romani, guys. K-Lig is going to put it in the chat, the link in the chat. Please watch her YouTube videos. It will give you the tools of how to deal with the narcissist. If you share a living quarters or whatever, how to deal with the narcissist to disarm them. Trust me. Not only will you be free of them, she will give you so much amazing pointers, they will want to leave you. And whatever it takes to get your freedom, I want you to have that, or at least be able to cope. Now, I hope you don't feel in danger. If you ever feel in danger, I suggest leave. I don't care about no material goods, no nothing. If you feel in danger and you feel like your life is compromised, leave, because it's not worth it. So this woman now, so frustrated, so unable to when she lost that court thing, knowing that what he gave her, what he did to her, and how manipulative he was, he started flexing on her, driving by her house every day in that blue wrapped thing that he bought, the blue wrapped Cybertruck that he bought when he took her money. She was so frustrated. And I'm sure, you know, with couples, people used to share their location and all this stuff, or she just knew his schedule. Thank you, Archangel Michael. God watch over you at Margie. Please be safe and listen to Natanya. Thank you so much, Michael. Listen, be safe, Margie. We love you and we want you to be okay. And narcissists are out there. Here it goes. See, the headmaster's on point, baby, doing what it do. Dr. Romani, look at her YouTube. I'm telling you, this woman will give you, it's a whole playlist. Build yourself. Yes, Shushu. Dr. Romani Durazvula. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. You know, I don't like to butcher people's name. Durazvula. I just call her Dr. Romani all the time. But guys, she has an amazing playlist that will save you. I don't care what aspect of dealing with the narcissist you are involved in. Dr. Romani got your back. Please watch her playlist. She has tons of videos. Tons. This woman was so frustrated in her dealings with this man, and knowing that she couldn't adequately take care of her children, she was about to lose her house, because if somebody challenges your 18 months of mortgage payments, mind you, he moved into her house, and then when she had to leave, he had to leave because it was her house. Anyhow, it wasn't her house, she would have had to leave. She would have had to leave. She wasn't his wife. She would have had to leave. But because she didn't have to leave, and he was mad that he couldn't live in this, in the splendor anymore, and he had built up this whole image and this lie. Well, when you can't live in the splendor anymore, you want to tear it all down. You got people that will burn it all down. Okay? And that's what he was torturing her to a point where she was like, where am I going? Now, you're absolutely welcome, Margie. Now, I can only imagine the frustration of having lost her mother, lost her father, her brother had a stroke. I don't know if she has other siblings, but those are the people I knew about. I pray that her children were left somewhere safe within the loving arms and care of someone safe. But this man was not right. Let me show you these videos. Well, I can tell you the culmination of all of that. He stripped her, stole everything she built up. And I'm going to tell you something. There is a scripture. I can't tell you exactly what the scripture is, but if God blesses you with something, if he blesses your hand with money and wealth and prosperity, and you give even one stinking dollar to somebody that God has cursed and said they can't get nothing, if you take them and you take your blessings and give it to them, God will strip you of everything you got. And I'm telling you what I know. Do not, be careful of who you bestow God's blessings that God has bestowed on you. Be careful of who you bestow them to. It could be somebody that live in your family, and when you and them look in the mirror, all their face look the same. Be careful. Also, there's people out there that hate you. Okay? They hate you just because God loves you. They hate you because you chose it. They hate you because God has blessed your hand. They hate you because everything you touch turned to gold. They hate you that no matter what weapon is formed against you, because you walk according to his will and his way, it don't prosper, baby. They hate you. Listen to me. You could have a friend and they are like, oh God, life is tough. I don't got nowhere to stay. Can I stay at your house for a little while? And you'd be like, come on, girl. Absolutely. I don't want you and your girls in the street. They will move in your house and hate you. I let a chick stay up in here. I went to school with this girl. She was supposed to be helping me do a gala. She was like, oh, I'll volunteer to help you do your gala. She came to help me do my gala and to do little things, her and her girls. And then it was started getting late. And I was like, and she was like, could we stay with you? We don't have nowhere to go. She didn't tell it to me until it was late and raining outside and all. I was like, okay. You guys, how long do you think you're going to need to stay? Where's all your stuff? All her stuff was in storage. So she came with the intent to stay. Suppose I said no, where would they have gone? But I said yes. And so, I used to work in my garage, or sometimes if I'm doing a smaller project, I'll sit in my family room and do it. But I use, because of the high volume of stuff I do, I use a compressor. This girl came to my over my thing and say, could you turn that off? I'm trying to sleep. When you going? What? In my house, my house. This is my routine in my house. I facilitate all my other stuff during the day. What I got to do, I see about Nirvana. And then a lot of times it is very cathartic for me to do this work at night. That's how I get down. I am very productive. I'm nocturnal. I'm extremely productive at night. My girl look over the thing and say, God, boy, you're going to turn that off. I can't sleep. You disturbing me. Is that so? I didn't know that you were able to disturb people when they were 𝐒𝐢𝐬𝐧𝐞. I thought people would be so grateful that, and it's not an everyday thing. I literally wasn't really doing my stuff because they were there. The night I decide to do it, you would tell me, I said, excuse you? I'm behind in my work because I am being a blessing to you, and you want to be, and then you staying at my house. One day my car was acting up. Well, my car was acting up for like a week or whatever, but she was taking her daughter to school, and her daughter went to school maybe 2 blocks from Nirvana. Every morning, Nirvana get up, she get her stuff together, she do her thing. She has always been a responsible young lady. One particular morning, Nirvana was like, this chick talk about, well, she got to take an Uber. I'm leaving. Excuse you? I said, if you leave, where you going to stay when you, at the end of the day? Because you can't come back here. You going to tell me you in my house. My daughter's running late one day, and you're going to leave my daughter and tell me I got to put her in an Uber and you staying in here for free? Surely you jest. Listen to me. God blesses you. There are people who hate you because of how God loves you. There are people who hate you because God has blessed you. There are people who hate you because you have the ability to provide somewhere for them to lay their head. There are people that hate you because, unbeknownst to them, you've done a nice thing for them. But they thought them people over there did it. They didn't know you did it. They thought them people over there did it. They know you came, but they didn't think you did it. And they be talking sideways to you. And the people that they think did it, no, they ain't do jack shit. But they'll let that person think they did it because it works for them. Manipulators, narcissists, slick con artists. They know they didn't do the thing, but they know that this person thinks they did it, and they are comfortable allowing that person to believe they did it. All the while, you don't know that the person thinks that, and you wasn't going to tell the person, because if you did it from the kindness of your heart, you ain't really sweating that. You ain't sweating that because you did it from the kindness of your heart. I'm not the type of person that like, I did blah, 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 blah. I illustrate things. I'll never betray the confidence of these people. I illustrate things so people can learn. Baby. Then something happens that the person comes to find out, where the topic comes up and the person backs you to a wall and it's like, you don't do this, you ain't doing nothing. Yeah, they do something, but you don't do nothing. And you're like, what? How come you don't blah, 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 blah? And you're like, what are you talking about? I did blah, blah. No, you didn't. Stop lying. Huh? They did it. No, I did it. What? That's a lie. They did it. No, I did it. You did what? How you did it? They didn't do it? No, they didn't do it. I did it. You did it. I didn't know you paid for it. Yes, I did. With their help? No, I paid for it by myself. You did. How come you never said nothing? Because for what? Why? They vexed that you did it. Vex that your dollars did it. They mad as, especially when they let them believe. They let the person believe they did it. They enjoyed the benefit of allowing the person to believe they did it. When the person find out they didn't do it and you did it, they mad at hell that it was you. Mind you, before they knew, they enjoyed it. It was great. It was spectacular. Long as they thought your dollars ain't doing it. Then when they find out your dollars did it, they furious. Furious, I say. Some people can't stand you because God loves you so much. Remember what they said? Many are called, but chosen are few. God does not call the qualified. He will qualify the called. So you could have not a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out, and God will anoint you and say, you are my chosen one. Okay? God will anoint you and make you the y'all ever heard of this scripture? The stone the builder refused becomes the cornerstone. I didn't make that up. Don't shoot the messenger, literally and figuratively. Once is enough in a lifetime. Don't shoot the messenger. The stone the builder refused becomes the cornerstone. And those people will hate you for being the cornerstone. After they kick dirt in your eye, I heard a guy tell a story about today on the internet. This guy was talking about his friend. He said, I have permission to tell the story from my friend. He didn't say any names. He said his friend who had struggled, they came up together. The guy struggled. He had, he used to have to struggle to work and make $1, whatever. So finally he had gotten a job and he was making like 50-something thousand. And, he felt proud of himself because he came from nothing. You know what I'm saying? He came from very meager beginnings. So 50,000 was huge. And then he kept pushing and trying and hustling and going and getting more education. And then he got a job making $300,000 a year. He was so proud of himself. He called his homeboy, yo, Guess what? Remember that job I was telling you about that I wanted so bad that I was trying hard to get, and I wanted. I got that job for 300,000 a year. What? Nicole Ann said, a homeless lady I took in demanded to see my income tax statements when I was only charging her $300 a month rent. Listen, I would have said, let me show you where they are. Over here. Come with me. Let me show you where they are. And I would have opened the door and say, outside. Go outside and go and read them. And she would have had nothing to read. Read them in your mind. Go outside. I had to throw a girl out of my house that I let this girl stay with me, and she was on the grace of her family. I grew up with her sister. She was a child to me. She was my kids them age. I grew up with her sisters. She was here on grace and mercy she didn't earn, baby. And the first day here, she broke my kitchen sink. Didn't tell me. Her and her kids broke my kitchen sink. Didn't tell me. And then it flooded. They never shut the water off. So the hose broke. I don't know what they did. I've been in this house a long time. I don't know what they did, but all I know is that water was pouring down. They never shut the faucet down. So the hose broke and it was pouring under the cabinet. I got home and I saw this massive, I could hear this, and I saw this massive dark mark on my hardwood floors. And I was like, what is this? What happened? What is this stain on my floor? Oh, the water. And I was like, what is that sound? I go look, water shooting under the cabinet. I said, why? What happened? Oh, it broke. Why didn't you call me and tell me? I didn't want to get in trouble. You're an adult. You talking about your kids. You are an adult. What you mean you didn't want to? I said, well, why you didn't shut the water off? There's water pouring down here. Oh, I didn't want to touch nothing else. What? No, you did that on purpose. I will not believe it. No one can make me believe that it was an accident. You did it on purpose. So I had to do my whole floors over. Someday I will show all of the pictures how I did my entire floor downstairs over. I did the entire thing over myself. You know that algebra they say, I'm never going to use this once I get out of school? Yeah, you will. I had to use it. But I did the entire thing over. But that's okay because who God bless, let no man curse. Let me tell you something. I try to make away with that girl. And I don't talk about children, but adolescents, listen to me. Young women out there, mothers, teach your daughters when it is their cycle time how to clean themselves properly and close up their soiled napkins, wrap them up, tie them in a little store plastic bag, and put it outside. Teach them that. Teach them that you don't take it off and stick it on the edge of the tub. You don't take it off, especially when you're staying with somebody. You don't take it off and stick it by the toilet tissue thing or put it on the floor. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I should not have to tell your daughters that, especially not at a big age. I should not have to tell your daughters that. I should not have to tell that to your daughters. Headmaster said, I also let someone live in my house who spoke and acted like she had somewhere else to stay. Bye, girl. Hey, you think? Bye. Deuces, because you don't clearly respect this opportunity that God has provided for you. And so since you don't respect this opportunity, perhaps you should go elsewhere. I will not bring anybody into my house to disturb my peace or my child. Nirvana was like, Mommy, the next time, could you ask me first? I'm so uncomfortable with them here. And I was just like, I be trying to help people. I ain't even factor that in. I said, never again. You ain't got to never worry about that. Never again. Never again. Renee Living Free said, I let my niece move in, who was an attorney and refused to look for a job. I put her out after 9 months. Her job was a master manipulator. That was her job. I paid her to stay here, not again. Baby, I hear you. Because listen, there is no greater joy than peace of mind. Peace of mind. You see, that's between me and God. If I decide, if it should come to a place where I have to eat ramen noodles, I will eat ramen noodles in my house. I would season them well, and I don't even eat them. But I would season them well, honey, not with that little packet. That packet got 1,200 grams of sodium. Stay away from that packet, y'all. Anywho, I digress. I would season up my ramen noodles and hold my corner. I would eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And I don't even like peanut butter and jelly. But I will be up in me and mine just quite comfortably so I don't have, and I will make sure I do whatever I got to do so that I don't ever have to be a burden to anyone. And listen, things happen. Things happen. And so perhaps that is an experience God allows you to experience and go through so that you can appreciate when you have your own and make sure that you work so hard that you never put yourself in a predicament where you're without being housed. But by all means, when someone gives you the benefit of housing you when your situation is down, do not walk up in there and think that you are the boss hog. I ain't telling you to let nobody slave you out. And most people who would give you the benefit of living with them is not trying to do that. They have already displayed themselves to be decent people because they allowed you to come in. But when you come in, could you please not be writing your name on the juice with no black magic marker in the fridge? You disrespectful. If somebody come in to stay in your house and they got a magic marker, a Sharpie no less, you got good quality Sharpie, and you writing your name on the juice, you don't belong here. Because in my house, we live in community thing. I don't play that put your name on the juice and all kind of foolishness. Like, people be out of pocket. So think carefully about letting people in. And you got hustlers that also will come and stay in your house because they understand the law. See, 30 days is the law. Once they live there consecutively for 30 days, they're a tenant. So you might have to, lock your house up and go if you're letting somebody stay there, you might have to lock your house every 26 days just to be sure. You might have to lock up your house and put out the lights and go stay by your mother's house. Cut that 30-day period off. Don't let them stay 30 days straight. Let them be 26 days. Oh, sorry, you missed the cutoff. Then the clock starts again when you let them come back in. Every time you hit a 30 days, they're the tenant. I'm just trying to tell y'all things to help y'all. I don't want y'all to have to experience these unfortunate things because people take advantage of kindness. Keisha said the young lady had a child with autism, caught her on a bench at work crying, had nowhere to go, did right by her, had to throw that heifer out too. Nasty. No earthly good. Yep. I don't know what, and here's the deal. Unfortunately, it would suffice it to say, perhaps that is why God let them be houseless, because they still have lessons to learn and they have to grow emotionally. Unfortunately, like God said, he will provide our daily bread. And so I know he's providing their daily bread. Yeah, you know what, Nicole? Thank you so much. She said, you are such a blessed mother. Thank you for listening to her. I didn't even take into consideration that I had not asked her if it was okay. And she was like, Mommy, I feel uncomfortable. And I was just like, when she said that, it broke my heart, because I'm like, I'm taking my child's comfort factor away to help ungrateful people. Nah, I was like, listen here. And I don't trust and believe. Your girl ain't got no problems. I really was a Captain Saver. I'm going to be honest. Ever since I was young, all of my friends that got kicked out, I used to sneak them in, let them live in my mother's basement because I didn't want them to be on the street. That's what God put me here for. Kindness and this and that. But people be taking advantage. And so in this big age of mine, listen, you would have been better off if you needed somewhere to stay in my 20s and 30s, maybe my 40s. You see, in these 50s, no, I can't do it. I'm sorry, but let me help you look for a place. 50s, maybe I like my space. I don't want you to touch my stuff. I don't like people touching my stuff. Like I told y'all, I think I got autism. I do not like nobody touching my stuff. I could walk in the room and be like, who moved this? And I don't be trying to be picky or nothing, but I like, if I put my thing here, if I put this here, I want it to stay here. I put it there for a reason. Don't move my things. I do not like people messing with my things. I'm too old and cranky and set in my ways. Nope. No. I can't do it. And it's to thine own self be true. Because when you do things outside of what is comfortable for you and you subvert your own personal needs in your space that you work for, that you created for other people, it'll cause a wedge between you guys. You are better off saying, hold on, let me find one of these short stay things. I can help you out with a week. I can pay for a week at a short stay place. Make sure you find the least expensive one in the safest of environments. Find the least expensive one. Here you go. I can help you with this. Do you need me to drop you guys off? I'll drop you off. Let me stop and get you some bread and some peanut butter and jelly and a couple of packs of noodles and this and that. That's how I can be of assistance. Because trust me, the little $200 or whatever will save you a headache in the long run. I'm sorry, this is how I can be a blessing. I might pay for the room and then give you another little $50 to have for your pocket, but I can't help. And I'm not trying to be funny or shady or nothing. I like my peace of mind. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys. Headmaster say, look here now, I said hit that like button. If you enjoy the content, hit the like button and subscribe. It's a free way to support the channel and it really helps a lot with the algorithm. So let me show y'all, without further ado, let me show y'all this video. They be switching this thing up all the time. Okay, let me show y'all this video. And prepare yourselves, guys. This one is a doozy. Where's my, oh, there we go. It's a doozy.
It was said that Todd Austin had stole his baby mama business idea, exposed her credit on the black market, also gave her a...
Can you guys hear that? Why is it not playing? Oh, okay. Did I sound low, guys?
HIV, neglected their child, and had 9 other... It was said that...
All right, let me roll it back to the beginning.
Todd Austin had stole his baby mama business idea, exposed her credit on the black market, also gave her HIV, neglected their child, and had 9 other kids and was abusive.
I'm gonna full screen it.
He had 9 secret kids, gave her HIV, stole her business, destroyed her credit, and after everything he allegedly put her through, she snapped. This is a treacherous story of Todd Austin and Michelle, a young couple whose picture-perfect moments were hiding so many secrets. Let's talk about who Todd really was. He wasn't just some ordinary dude. He was a hustler in every sense of the word. Some say he was on his way to becoming a multimillionaire. Others say he was a master manipulator. Todd was involved in many things. He was known for selling hair, allegedly running his own hair business. But that wasn't all. He also cooked, promoting himself as a private chef, posting plates on social media like he was building a food empire.
I came back to let you know. Got a thing for you, and I can't let go.
And the third hustle, credit repair. Todd was the owner of a business called Credit Champs. From what we gathered, he specialized in helping people fix their credit and build business credit. And Michelle was right there with him, allegedly helping to promote the brand and even contributing ideas to grow the business. Some say she taught him, and that's how he got into helping others with their credit. Timon Michelle Williams, 37, wasn't just the girlfriend. She was a boss in her own right. According to her business profile, she was the CEO of Lux Credit Services. She introduced herself as a financial strategist, credit analyst, tax preparer, and mentor. She said she helped hundreds of clients fix their credit and secure funding for their businesses. And she wasn't just local. Michelle claimed she had clients across the country and had been making waves in the financial literacy space for a minute. And this wasn't just a side hustle. She was a proud Army veteran who had turned her knowledge into a brand. She even said she started teaching her 2 sons about credit and finances at an early age because, in her words, our community isn't taught that. She was big on community empowerment and making people feel like they weren't alone on their credit journey.
When you got big girl business to take care of, honey, this is big girl business. Okay.
From the outside looking in, Michelle and Todd appeared to be a power couple. He had Credit Champs. She had Lux Credit Services. They had just welcomed a baby. They were promoting each other's brands, showing off a life of Black excellence. But somewhere between the lines, the clients and the captions, everything fell apart. It's not clear exactly when things went left, but someone claiming to have spoken with close family members is shedding light on why the relationship between Michelle and
I'm gonna pause it right here because I want to read this to you. So it says part of it is covered up with the overlay. Close friends and family. At the time they met, she was single, very stable with everything. Good job, retirement checks, homeowner with a few cars. Todd did not have the resources or success people often believe. In fact, he had a history of deceptive behavior and was not financially stable. Their relationship moved quickly, but they were never married and were only together for a few years. They had a mutual agreement that Todd would move out of her home and that they would amicably separate their shared business. Although he initially moved out, he became increasingly hostile and began returning to her residence uninvited. This led her to obtain a restraining order against him in March. After moving out, Todd removed her name from their shared business bank account, changed the associated email, and withdrew all the funds, approximately $96,000, leaving her without access to money she needed for living expenses. She had not been working due to caring for their baby and was relying on those savings. He also found a way to, I'm going to read it. Let me go to the next screen and read it, because he also found a way to access and withdraw funds from her personal account. Further compounding the situation, Todd filed fraudulent disputes on 18 months worth of mortgage payments that she had paid from their business account. This resulted in a foreclosure in July, or a foreclosure coming up in July. The company demanded $55,000 or required her to vacate the property within 60 days. Since he had removed her name from the business account, it was difficult for her to contest the fraud claims. Meanwhile, Todd used the misappropriated funds to purchase a Cybertruck. Let me come back on the screen. To purchase a Cybertruck. Legal proceedings followed, focusing on the division of their jointly built business, Credit Champ. Last week, the court ruled in Todd's favor, granting him full ownership of the business and all three of the vehicles purchased under its name. Despite her significant role in starting and growing the company, she was left with nothing, no business, no income, and only a few cents in her personal account. She had attempted to reach a compromise, asking Todd for $20,000 to help her and the baby stabilize, but he refused. Hold on, let me just shut off these comments right here. He refused and responded cruelly, saying, F her and the baby. She was not driven by jealousy. She was desperate, soon to be homeless, and had been completely stripped of everything. Something built, and this is one of her friends that said she did not have HIV, but other friends said she did have HIV. Something to bash anyone, but I do have a personal story to share, a real one based on my own experience. I was in a relationship. Hold on. It's a little obscured. I just want to be able to read this to you guys. I was in a relationship with this man between the ages of 24 and 26. It was wild, and I can't see what's under that. 22 months of dating. I made the mistake of allowing him to move in with me. These are Michelle's words. That's when everything took a darker turn. At the time, I was and still am a business owner, and I exposed him to different levels of lifestyle and business insight. I introduced him to entrepreneurship, from selling hair to clothing, and he learned a lot from me. Unfortunately, rather than showing appreciation or giving credit, he took what he learned and passed it on as his own. One moment. And passed it on as his own, never once acknowledging where it came from. It became clear over time that he was trying to mimic everything I did. Every business idea I had, he tried to copy. He presented himself as the nice guy, but the reality was different. Behind closed doors, there was a pattern of manipulation, jealousy, and dishonesty. Despite his charming behavior in public, he had narcissistic tendencies and constantly blamed me for everything. Child support letters started arriving, multiple each month, addressed to him with different names. When I questioned him, I can't see it right here, but he basically simply told her that these women were trying to get at him because he was popping on social media. Explanations never added up. And when asked why he didn't communicate with his kids, he blamed toxic relationships with their mother. So if you got a man who always swears that every time the relationship ain't going good, it's because of the mother, that's a red flag. That's a flaming red flag.
Todd may have turned sour. According to this person's account, when Todd and Michelle met, she was already well established.
I'm sorry.
She was a single, stable mother with a good job, a retirement check, multiple cars, and a home in her name. Meanwhile, Todd reportedly did not have the financial stability or resources he portrayed. In fact, they claim he had a history of deceptive behavior and wasn't as successful as he seemed. Their relationship moved fast, but the two never got married and only dated for a few years. They had an agreement that Todd would eventually move out and the two would separate both personally and professionally. He did move out at first, but then allegedly started popping back up at her home uninvited.
Yes, this is why I switched to injection-free weight loss.
I was eating healthy, working out every day, and nothing would budge. I've lost, I think, 22 or 23 pounds at this point.
Now, this is the Mr. Nice Guy. Copyright Fair U.S. Code 17, Section 107. Fair is a limitation to copyright set forth in 17 U.S. Code 107 for purposes such as criticism and commentary. Now, this is the guy who listen to this.
What the code? Hey, shit! Why the code ain't working? Why the fucking code ain't working?
Todd, look at this. Watch this.
Why the code ain't working?
Now, this is her.
Why the code ain't working?
One.
Why the fucking code ain't working? Ain't no code fucking working. She changed the motherfucker. She changed it.
That's when Michelle filed a restraining order in March. Once he was out, things allegedly got worse. Todd is said to have removed Michelle's name from their shared business account, changed the email, and withdrew nearly $96,000. That's crazy. He stole money she reportedly needed for her living expenses, since she wasn't working at the time while caring for their baby. She wasn't acting out of jealousy. She was desperate, facing homelessness, and completely stripped of everything she had helped build from the ground up. Michelle felt hopeless. She felt like she had nothing to lose, even though she did. On a Friday morning in Arlington, Texas, at 10:15 a.m., she reportedly walked into the barbershop on South Cooper Street where Todd was.
They be doing too much.
According to reports, she shot him multiple times, then turned the gun on herself. When police arrived, she was attempting to leave the building, but tragically, before they could intervene, she shot herself again and was later pronounced dead.
About a man who was getting his haircut at a salon when he was shot and killed. Arlington police are calling it a murder-suicide. And Scoop Jefferson just spoke with people who witnessed the shooting on Cooper Street.
This is the moment Arlington police officers arrived at the front doors of the Spa Galleria strip mall on shots fired, recorded on a cell phone. Just after 10 a.m. Friday, police say a 37-year-old woman walked into the South Cooper Street location with a gun and opened fire on a man she had been dating as he got a haircut.
They were just all nervous and we were all scared.
Another vendor inside the Galleria had just finished with one of her clients.
I got multiple texts from them saying there was shooting happening, and I saw the cop cars in front of me, and I heard gunshots.
The victim, identified by family and friends as 37-year-old Todd Austin, was getting his haircut by Dax the barber, a popular Arlington stylist. Dax, who didn't want to go on camera, told us she fired several shots, striking Austin in the chest area. He's been his customer for 12 years and says on his Facebook page that his clients are his extended family. As other Galleria employees arrived,
I have a barber suite inside.
They got the devastating news.
And one of the suite owners 2 doors down actually told me, hey, don't go inside. Somebody just got shot.
Let's address some of the other rumors that have been floating around. Todd was accused of having multiple children outside of his relationship with Michelle.
He did give
claims that he fathered kids while they were still together. On top of that, there were rumors suggesting he was secretly living a double life, with people alleging he was gay and had given Michelle HIV. Some even believe that this played a role in what led to the tragic murder-suicide.
It was said that Todd Austin had stole his baby mama business idea, exposed her credit on the black market, also gave her HIV, neglected their child, and had 9 other kids and was abusive. Now, I'm pretty sure y'all heard about what happened up in Arlington, Texas on yesterday with Todd Austin, aka the credit guru. He was getting his haircut. His baby mama walked in and unalived him and unalived herself too as well. And hold on, let me show y'all this before y'all try to get up in my comments and try to say that I'm telling lies and I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm clearly saying what was posted on Facebook. She said after everything he put her through, she snapped and now he's gone. What are y'all thoughts on this? She made it very clear at the beginning of her status. She said, let's be clear. This isn't an allegation.
A woman claiming to be Michelle's
He
friend
did give her
has spoken out, addressing the rumors head on and offering insight into what may have really pushed Michelle to her breaking point.
I'm here to tell the story of Michelle and Todd to clear the false narratives. He did not give her HIV. He was not cheating on her at the time of the murder-suicide. In fact, they haven't even been together in over a year. Yeah, Michelle came from nothing. She built herself up as a veteran, as a successful business owner, her knowledge, the things that she knew in order to get money to take care of her kids as a single mother. When she met Todd, Todd was living downtown Dallas under a CPN number. He did not know how to do credit repair. She taught him how to do that, and they built this business, Credit Champs, together. Whenever they broke up, because I see he's been sending his clients the video when she pulled the gun on him. She wanted him out of her house, and he would not leave. There's an active restraining order right now against him. Terroristic threat against her and her son. He threatened to kill them both. Okay. Todd reversed all of Michelle's mortgage payments up to I think 18 months, probably more, to the point she was about to lose her home. How he did this is because they have a joint bank account. He removed her off of the bank. I don't even know how he could have even did this, but he removed her name off the bank because she had no access. He created a new email for everything to go to, not the email that they had. Michelle went to Vegas one weekend and she came back and all her money was gone. Now, could you imagine having $250,000 or even $500,000 in your bank account and now it's zero? You can't pay your mortgage. You can't take care of your kids. He's threatening you. He's not giving you nothing for your kid. Okay. Michelle has several cases against this man. Okay. Me as well had a lawsuit that I just won and got paid off a day before the murder-suicide. Michelle was suing him for a lot. He was taunting her by still promoting this company, still making money off this company that they built, not giving her access to any of the money. He also wrapped a Cybertruck, was riding past her house. She could see it on her Ring camera. He was taunting her. She was so full of debt. She was about to lose her home. The air went out in her Tesla. It was just a lot of stuff going on, and she had $0 to deal with her situation. She reached out to family. She reached out to people to help her, and only a handful of us helped her. Okay. So with all this stuff that y'all got going on about he gave her HIV and she was cheating and it's more dick out there, it had nothing to do with that. That man stole her whole life and he flaunted it in her face. Todd also took her $10,000 settlement payment that she got from the military. When he got access to her phone, he drained her personal account, locked her out of her business accounts, wouldn't help her with her son. So all of this stuff, I just want to clear the false narrative. He is not who you think he was. And I'm not justifying anything that she done, but I understand. So y'all can say whatever y'all want to say because I really don't care, honestly. I'm going to feel the way I feel and you're going to feel the way you feel.
So there's the truth behind why Michelle finally snapped. Todd wasn't just abusive. He drained her emotionally, financially, and spiritually. He stole her business, took her money, cheated on her, and humiliated her publicly. She felt deeply betrayed, especially knowing she was the one who built him up. She taught him everything, helped him level up, and without her, he wouldn't have made it half as far. And in the end, he took everything they built up together and used it against her. In these messages, Michelle was texting a friend, venting about everything Todd had put her through. She explained how he had been lying and scamming from the start. When she met him, he was broke, living downtown under a CPN and behind on bills. She didn't even know how bad it was until she found out from the leasing office. He hadn't paid rent or his cable bill in months, but instead of walking away, Michelle tried to help him. She turned him all the way up, taught him about credit, business strategies, and helped him make more money than he ever had in his life. She built him up from nothing. If it wasn't for her, he wouldn't have gotten as far as he did. And how did he repay her? He stole her business, took her money, cheated on her, humiliated her, and left her to pick up the pieces. In one message, Michelle said, "He's abusive, a thief, and a liar," and even shared photos showing the damage he caused, busted doors and broken walls. She taught him everything, from credit to how to run a business, and he used all of it against her. He was out here selling hair and vendor lists like he built something on his own. Meanwhile, Michelle was dealing with court dates, financial betrayal, and emotional damage. She was heartbroken, not just because he hurt her, but because she gave him the blueprint to win, and he used it to destroy her. She leaves behind 2 children, her infant son, and a 14-year-old boy she absolutely adored. This was more than a crime. This was a true tragedy. Michelle had already been through so much. Approximately 3 years ago, she lost her mother after a long battle with an illness, a loss that completely shattered her. One of her brothers also suffered a stroke, and her father had passed away years earlier, something she reportedly never fully recovered from. So imagine that kind of grief, losing the most important people in your life, and then being in a relationship where you're allegedly abused,
This is a reaction,
financially manipulated, and stripped of your ability to provide for your kids. It's heartbreaking. And one thing most people can agree on, this wasn't random. This was pain. This was betrayal. This was the breaking point of someone who had allegedly been lied to, cheated on, and emotionally destroyed. The case is still under investigation, and many of the details have yet to be confirmed. But it's clear this wasn't just a crime of passion. It was the result of years of alleged mistreatment, secrets, and deep emotional trauma finally boiling over. So what do y'all think? Was this cold-blooded murder, or a woman who reached her limit? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you or someone you know has a story, one that's painful, personal, and treacherous, DM us. You might be featured in an upcoming video. This is Treacherous Crimes. Subscribe for more real stories with shocking truths.
Shout out to Treacherous Crimes. Shout out to Treacherous Crimes. So, and I saw your comments coming down. He was absolutely unequivocally a demon. This is why I say what I say. Women, we wear our vulnerability on our sleeve oftentimes because we just want to be loved. Please, thank you, Keisha. She had to be under stress. He broke her financially, mentally, emotionally, and more. He broke her physically. Mocha B, my niecey poo. As women, we will out of good nature build a man up, sacrifice our integrity with the hopes and overall collective betterment. It is so sad that many of us get lost for love intended and not returned. Absolutely. Baby, when I tell you I couldn't have said that better, give that girl a gold star, headmaster. This story was so diabolical. And that's why I always say when people are so quick to want to be the first on the internet to announce something, because when you're out here telling us, oh, she was a bitter heifer and he had all this money, he was a well-made man, and she was a bitter heifer and she couldn't get over the fact that he was going to get somebody else that quality life. You can't be, when you're grown, you can't play the I'm rushing to be first game. That's foolishness. Rushing to be first puts a foolish story out there, because when your friends are recoiling from the grief of what has occurred, it takes a day or two for them to start saying, okay, here go the story. And then her friend that was sitting in the car, I believe that because her children are still here, she wants to preserve their mother. There's a couple of other narratives out there too. And I'm telling you, I watched enough people close to her, family and best friend, say he gave her HIV. She probably wants to preserve it. And maybe her friend didn't tell her, because you got some friends that you tell some things and some friends that you tell other things. And perhaps she was a friend that she could commiserate with, but she's not the friend that she could tell her that with. Maybe she felt like if she told her, everybody would know. I don't know. But there was enough places that said he was DL and gave her a house in Virginia. And mind you, there's other baby mothers out there who may themselves be dealing with that house in Virginia too. They don't have a platform by which to tell their story, because there is still a stigma attached to a house in Virginia, and people don't want to be associated with that. And there are other people in other communities that, do these TV commercials for the medicines, and they were like, they've been HIV positive for 7 years, and they take one pill now every 2 months, and they're good. And that's all well and good. Shout out to Treacherous Crimes for their video that we reacted to. But everybody is still not ready to deal with the stigma. Now, in all fairness, there was a time where having a house in Virginia, having HIV was considered a unaliving sentence. People thought it was instant unaliving. Now it's considered a maintenance disease, like high blood pressure and diabetes and all that. They consider it a maintenance disease. They don't even consider it a unaliving sentence. I'm using unaliving because YouTube speak. However, there was a time where years and years and years ago, when I went back to school, and we had to write a thesis for each class. That's the way this school was. You had to write a thesis equivalent to like a master's thesis for each class, end of every semester. And this particular class was, of course, I'm a psychology, human services. So this particular class, everybody had to go do assigned to like some sort of in-service. You had to go be assigned at a clinic, or I was assigned at an HIV clinic. Now, mind you, I would say most of the people, almost none of them looked ill. In fact, there was a lady that I had to go like 2 times, 3 times a week. And I promise you, I talked to this lady for three days in a row. I thought she was an employee. She was one of the people. When I tell you, all walks of life, doctors, lawyers, this, that, teachers, the homeless lady, the crackhead, everything in between. There was everybody, a lot of seniors. I saw an older lady. She had her little tea and her thing, and she was very dainty and all that. She was 70 something. She was infected by a man that was walking around the nursing home. He was busy. And they come to this program in the daytime because they didn't have a mandate to work, and because it had so many debilitating effects, and some people would get sick, or the medication would make them have all these issues, that they didn't have like a mandate to work to get the resources that they got from this program. And I was talking to a lot of people, and they told me so in the classroom setting, there was a guy in my class, and his name was Michael Jackson. So that was the joke already in and of itself. But he told us about these people called bug chasers. And I was like, what is that? What do you mean? What is bug chasers? And he said there is a group of people, young people in that millennial age, that were not afraid of HIV and would hang outside of programs, like these different programs and groups that people who were positive attended, because they wanted to sleep with somebody who was positive so that they could get it, because the programs in New York City gave you a lot of money. And so they gave you an apartment, they gave you a lot of money to maintain yourself, they gave you full medical and, you know, public assistance, food stamps, whatever, and it would afford them this life where they didn't have to work. And it was like a lot of young gay guys. I said, what? I said, I don't believe that shit. That's a lie. They said, oh, no. That's real. Look it up. Y'all Google or wherever. I don't know. Maybe you look into YouTube or something, but Google, whatever. Look for bug chasers or type in, are there people who intentionally try to get HIV, or were there people who, he said they're called bug chasers, and they wanted to get it because the programs would give lots of money. I said, you have got to be out your mind. But no, it was correct. It was correct. And I said, how you know? And I thought the guy was just, you know, and he said, he basically was like, ask me how I know. But he said he know for a fact. And I said, are you kidding? And he said he counseled a lot of these young guys, like, don't do this. There's another way. Just work. Just be willing to work and get. And they were like, no, that's what they wanted. And I was astounded. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. I didn't believe it at all. But then I came to find out it was true. Working in that program, you know, I had to go there 3 days a week. I came to find out it was true. There were people who would hang out, but not, and that's not unlike when I used to work at for New York State Office of Mental Health and New York State Office of Mental Health. This is when I was at the mental health division, where people would, quote unquote, mental illness, or what people would say, y'all crazy, whatever, you know, euphemisms. But there were guys that would hang outside the developmental center to date women that were in the developmental. I'm talking, they lived in a facility and they only had grounds privileges. So if the higher functioning ones, they could go out and, you know, they got ground privilege. They could go out, visit their family, or go, they were considered independent enough to go within the community, but then they had to come back at a certain time. Yeah, they would hang out. There was a married, and we had one, I never forget, I had one, they call them consumers now. First we used to call them patients, then clients, then consumers, then the name changes every few years. But she was like, she used to always, now she was very manic and she would smoke a lot. And she always had, I'm not going to say her name, she always had nether region infections, because that was one of her things. She would insert things in her hoo-ha for the purposes of YouTube. She would insert things in her hoo-ha. So she always had some sort of infection. However, they had donations, like closed donations, because she was high functioning. There was a building on the grounds that you could go to and they give away clothes. And she was honey, she was fancy, honey. She used to dress up, change her outfit 4 times a day. But she was always, and one of her things that she would insert was, finish that butt, insert it in there. I promise you. And she was like, she came back one day, she had all this money, and people was like, where you get all that money from? She was on ground privilege. Where you get all that money from? She was like, I told you I got a boyfriend. He gave me this money. And people was like, you ain't got no boyfriend. She was like, I do got a boyfriend. And it was like, prove it. She was like, he married and he got a wife and some kids and all that. And we was like, how he look? And she was describing, she was like, he was a white guy and he looked like, you know, a famous actor. And he wasn't a famous actor, but she said he can look like that, like a famous actor. And we was like, we don't believe you. You got it. And one of the ladies said, show me proof. If you prove it to me, I'll give you $20. And so we laughed it off and didn't think anything about it. You see on her next ground privilege, she came back. She just came right up to the table, blow, and dropped a silver. And I'm not talking about no flim-flam silver. I'm not talking about no silver look. A sterling silver picture frame on the table with a family, a husband, his wife, and his children in that picture frame. I said, where you get this from? She was like, I got that, took that out of his house. This, not only did the man used to cheat on his wife, he used to bring her funky behind up in there. And so we said, you went to the house? She was like, I go to the house all the time. They be on vacation. Maybe he sent his wife away and then I just go over there. And we was like, what? So now we really asking her, we peppering her down with questions. She telling us all the tea. She was describing the house and the pictures, you know, everything in the house and how fancy they were. And it was a big old house. and all this stuff. And I was thinking to myself, I be having to take her to the hospital all the time. She stayed with very pungent infections in her nether regions because she'll smoke a cigarette, snuff it out, and put it in there. One time she had such a bad situation because they found she kept having this perpetual infection. They would go in, do like a surgical procedure, take it out, and they couldn't understand why it had this. Well, there was one that was so far up in her with these filter, the filter that's in the cigarette, they're absorbent. So they were absorbing the bacteria and all that stuff. Even when they would go and give her antibiotics, she kept having this perpetual. One of them was so far up. When they finally extracted it, they said that cigarette hadn't been made in years. I said, how will you attend this? This cigarette didn't even exist anymore. And they figured they were able to date when she started doing this by the kind of cigarette, and it was dissolved and broken down, but they could still see from the cigarette label thing from the top around the filter, they could still identify the cigarette. And they said, these cigarettes haven't been made in a while. That's how they were able to date when she started this behavior. I said, how will you are telling me, say? That's why I tell y'all, please take care of your mental health, because she was high functioning. She wasn't, she was intelligent. She just would have these manic where she would talk to you and her sides of her mouth would be foaming up with spit and she'd be talking so fast and she'll tell you 922 stories in 3 minutes. And that's when she would have manic situations. So she would go into mania, and then I used to be like, why do you smoke so much? And she was like, because it calmed me down. And the cigarette would be a form of euphoria for her, and she would calm down, and justifiably so. It was a compulsive disorder. She was calmer when she was smoking. Now, I don't like all that cigarette smoke, but exactly, that sounds like someone started doing it to her as a child, in your opinion. Absolutely. She very well could completely be what the situation was. And so she perpetuated that behavior. And she had this boyfriend, and she would come back with all kinds of money. And I mean, sometimes it would be $20, sometimes it would be $300. And we're like, you live in a facility, where you got $300 from? And she said, my boyfriend gave it to me. And we thought that she was just out there doing things. No, her boyfriend gave it to her. You should have seen this guy. I'm talking creme de la creme of Manhattan, business world, white collar, fancy. I'm talking, they look divine, darling, the whole family. I was like, ooh, child, I feel sorry for this lady. And we had no way. I mean, it wasn't our position to be able to go and dime her out in anything. And then a couple of times one time she tore the place up because she was supposed to go meet her boyfriend. And this one employee, a doctor, he was a bit of a curmudgeon and kind of cranky. He was a cranky guy. And when we would see him coming, we'd be like, oh Lord, because he would come. Those people that have so much negative energy in them, when they come to an environment, they infect everyone with that negative energy, and then the place just be in an uproar, and then they create all this turmoil, and they leave, and you got to deal with it. Anytime he presented, everybody would be like, oh, because he was going to come stir up a whole bunch of stuff, and then the clients would be in an uproar. When he come on the floor, if everybody's too quiet, he don't like to see nothing too quiet and calm, honey. He gonna come on that ward and cause problems. Well, he came on the ward one day, caused a big stir up, and then she said something to him. She was like, and she was very outspoken. It's probably on the spectrum, so she was extremely outspoken. She was like, don't come in here with that stuff again. He was like, what? Loss of ground privileges. Shut your mouth when I come in here. Don't say nothing. She was like, what? I'm going on my ground privilege. He said, no, you're not going on your ground privileges. You're not going anywhere today. We looked at him like, nigga, she tore that place down that day. You hear me? Because she was supposed to go meet her boyfriend. And she was like, I'm going on my ground privilege. And she tore that place down. We was just like, it was bad. It was bad, and it was sad because she wanted to go see her boyfriend. And she tore that place down. She tore that place down. And you know what it is? It wasn't so much that because she had these severe, and I was on a unit called the dual diagnosis unit. So they had mental illness, and some of them had developmental delays and disabilities. So it was like, if you have autism and psychiatric, if you have all these mental, that was a coping strategy. That's just what she did. But let me tell you something, baby, When I tell you that thing would change her clothes 4 times a day, she would go get all the donation. She had pocketbooks galore. She would fly. She was fly. But she was just her hype. She was up and down, highs and lows, and it was crazy. But that's what I'm telling you guys. Please, we all want love. We all want to be loved, and we all want to love. What we have to do is find outlets for our desire to love and be loved. It doesn't necessarily have to be intimate partner love. It could be go volunteer at a program and help some kids that are in need. Go to a sip and paint with your girlfriends. Go do other things to fill that need of interaction and human interpersonal interaction, things like that. And here's the deal. Nobody's saying that you can't be, you can't see someone and be in a relationship, but date someone for longer. That don't move anybody in. A lot of times people want love so bad that they just move in with somebody or move somebody in. Please protect your mental health. Please. Our headmaster 𝐶 has put the mental health crisis line on the thing. If you're having a mental health crisis, please dial or text 988 on your phone. And if you are a victim or survivor of domestic violence, or you are presently in the throes of that, you can dial 1-800-799-7233. Here, it is not our desire to simply tell you about situations. We want to educate you, and we want to help you find solutions that could give you a sense of calm and return to peace in your life. We never just want to gratuitously tell a story and not offer peace. We offer our condolences on behalf of myself, Natanya, the nerd, the dopest nerd, and the nerd herd, and the headmaster 𝐶, on behalf of everyone whose lives were affected by this heinous crime and the totality of this heinous crime. You know, we offer our condolences. We pray that the children have a safe, loving, and conducive environment to live in and to be reared with love, and they get the counseling that they're going to both require in order to have a fruitful existence and a fruitful life. I pray that, you know, whoever is able, they said one of her brothers, I noticed that when they talked about the brother having a stroke, they said one of her brothers had a stroke. So I pray that they are being raised in a loving environment with that one of those other brothers, and that they feel love, and they know that they're loved, and they understand, they find it somewhere, a coping mechanism to be able to endure and deal with this and overcome it in their life. I don't think this was a reflection on her love for her children. I truly believe she loved her children, but she felt like her existence was becoming a burden she could not face. And that's what I want to tell y'all also. We are not our jobs. We are not any of this material goods. That's why I be telling y'all, death to your ego. When you are able to shed your ego desires of, I have this, I am that. Now, we all want something. We all want a piece of house and land. Nobody's immune to that. However, it is okay to say, yet though he slay me, I will worship him and I will trust in him. That is scripture. Yet though he slay me, I will trust in him. Any tongue that rises against me in judgment shall be condemned. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities of evil in this world and spiritual wickedness in high places. Isaiah 54:17. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. He never said weapons won't be formed against you. What he said is, if you walk according to my will and my way, those weapons will not prosper against you. And we have to see, when you see a red flag, this is orange, but I will use this to illustrate. Baby, when you see that red flag waving, trust it. Trust your gut. That's why they say trust your gut, because your gut is your second brain. Your brain, this is your first brain, and your gut microbiome is your second brain. And that's why you say, I don't know what it is. It's something in my gut. I just don't. There you go, Renee. Ego is edging out God. As long as your ego is the center of your coping and your mechanism for how you exist in the world, you will edge God out. You gotta have death to the ego. You gotta be on some, I don't care about all these material possessions. I would much rather have had this woman have to, figure out, get a job. Not that she deserved this, but I would prefer if she was able to get a job, perhaps leave the state and move, or that part of the state and move to another part. I know it would have been disruptive to her lives, but she would have been here for her children. But who am I to question God? Everything in God's time. We may not understand, yet though he slay me, I will trust in him. And I think just before I'm about to sign off, guys, but I do want to read this because I think we've had people in our own Nerd Herd family that are in need of prayer and are going through things and are grieving. And I just want to be a source for everyone that watches this, whether it be in this live now or in the replay gang. And this always gives me comfort, and it's always one that protects you. My grandmother's favorite scripture. Who knows my grandmother's favorite scripture? Put it in the chat. Come on, y'all. Let's see who get it in there first for that gold star. Let's see who's getting it in there first. Y'all know what it is. My grandmother's favorite scripture. Come on with it, y'all. Don't front on me now. I meant to put these comments back on the screen. We're about to sign off anyway. Which Psalms? Love and kindness. There you go. Ephesians is mine. Ephesians is mine, but my grandmother's is which Psalm? Y'all hear me talk about it all the time. I know y'all know. Come on, y'all. Come on, Nerd Herd. Don't let me down. Psalms 91. There you go, Keisha. Psalms 91. Give that girl a gold star. Because if you ain't got a Keisha in the house, baby, you ain't got no party. There you go, honeybee. Psalms 91. And so I'm going to share Psalms 91 with you before I sign off. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, let me put it in front of me so I can look straight ahead. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress. In my God, in him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wastes at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. That line right there, people are often confused by it. Only with thine eyes shall thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. That means you will see the punishment of the wicked. The reward of the wicked means the punishment of the wicked. Because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High thy habitation, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, and keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest I dash thy foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread on the lion and the adder, the young lion and the dragon shalt thou trample under feet. Because he has set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. Guys, keep the 91st Psalm in your house. Keep the 91st Psalm in your heart. If you ever feel stressed, be sure to read that 91st Psalm to cover your house. I pray that they are both free. I pray that so many emotions, because by virtue of the fact that someone committed an act of crime, that is who we should be, the world would have you believe we should be angry with. And the victim we shall feel empathy for. But this is a unique setting and a unique situation. And I'm going to be very honest. I don't feel empathy for him. I do not feel empathy for him. I don't. Sometimes you got to be careful of who you are entertaining in this world. You might be entertaining an angel, or you might be entertaining God, but you also might be entertaining the devil himself. And this was entertaining the devil. And you know what they always say? The devil cannot enter your home except by your invitation. As was so easily displayed in Sinners. Remember the devil, Remick, and his crew doing their river dance? They couldn't get into the barn without an invitation. The devil can't come into your home without an invitation. And we need to thank you, Renee Living Free. We need to love ourselves more. We have been raised of a generation that was like, be nice, be kind, which I said it from the get-go. It teaches you to disavow your own need for protection. It teaches you to disavow your boundaries and your own protective nature because you want to make other people feel comfortable. Put yourself first again, ladies. It's okay to not be in a relationship. It's okay to just hang out with your girlfriends, go out for a nice evening, do things with the kids. You guys get together and do things with the kids. It's okay to go out on a nice date from time to time with a gentleman. He doesn't have to move into your house. He doesn't have to be in your bed. He doesn't have to be in your life every day. You can see him and you can go. You don't have to be in a relationship with him. Take time to grow and know, because here's the deal. As much as we all want to love and be loved, thank you, Joseph Ruffin. Joseph Ruffin said, I just shared your live on my Facebook. Thank you so much, my love. Oh, I didn't see that. I should have known. The headmaster got you. K-Leg said, thank you, Joseph. You know, we have to break that. Thank you, Margie. We have to break that generational curse of believing we have to be hemmed up with some joker on our hip, in our bed. We don't have to, because we can avoid it. Time and distance bears everything out. If she had given this relationship more time, and far be it from me to disavow God, thy will be done, God. But he also gives us permissive will, which is free will. We have God's will and permissive will, free will. And all too often we circumvent God's will for our free will. We have to get out of our own way. We have to get out of our own way and stop always thinking we know best. Here's a test I've been telling women. I've been saying this for about 30 years. You know, women be like, oh, my type, he's my type, this is my type. I always say, put your hand up. This being the oldest, like further away relationship, and this being the most recent. And it was all your type. This new guy that you see, drop this one off, slide these suckers down, and put him here. And the common denominator is they were all your type and they're all no longer here. Close that hand and take your home. Leave that your type alone. Clearly, you don't know what your type is, because if your type worked, you wouldn't have this whole hand and many other fingers to spare of guys that you tried that didn't work out. That ain't your type. That's what your mind tell you. You are basing your type off of a preconceived notion. Remember, the messages we get in our head, you have subconscious. That subconscious voice is not your voice. That's the voice of the people who raised you, who reared you, people you came up around. That subconscious voice that tells you mean stuff about yourself. Oh, shut up, girl. You better just take what you could get. No, that ain't you. Your conscious thought is you. Oh, I think I want to eat a fish sandwich today. That's your conscious thought. All that other, you ain't never going to be nothing. Your mama wasn't nothing. You ain't going to be nothing. Your daddy wasn't nothing. You ain't going to. That's your subconscious programming that came from the people who raised you, your environment. Don't listen to that. Shut that voice off. Shut that voice off. They projected their own insecurities, shortcomings, failings, and all of that trauma and drama dumped into your mind. That is not your voice. The voice in you that says, you know what, I think I'll have a water today. I had a juice the other day. I don't need to take in all those sweets. I'll have water with my meal. Excuse me, make sure it's spring water, please. Thank you so much. That's your voice. Listen to that voice. Turn off that subconscious voice and live your life. Be okay being by yourself for a while. You get to know yourself. You'll love it. Listen, baby, there's so many things you could do to not end up a story like this. I love you guys so much. Lisa said, I got divorced in 2020. At first, I was really scared of being alone. Now I'm loving it. I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. I like my own space and freedom. Absolutely, Lisa. And listen, you got a family right here, girl. We right here with you. You can never be lonely when we here with you. You got the whole nerd herd right at the palm of your hand. Hey, part of my Frenchie said, your type is usually the opposite of what you think or want. Baby, now tell them, girl, the opposite. Leilani said, today there was a homeless woman sitting on a bench with no shoes, not bragging or nothing, but I went to my house and gave her a good pair of sneakers that fit her perfect, and we talked. God bless you. Thank God. There you go. Thank you for being a blessing to our sister Leilani. But for the grace of God, there go I. Okay? Joseph Ruffin said, and tell Jag that we love her. Absolutely, I sure will. I'll tell her. I'll call her today. Leilani said she then asked me for a hug, and I blessed her with a big, tight, cozy hug. Because listen, sometimes that's what it all boils down to. Sometimes that's all it is. Somebody wants to be heard. We all just want to be heard. We want to be seen. We want to be valued, and we want to be thought of. That's it. And respected. Everything else, you may not be able to answer all her problems and solve all her problems, but a hug, a kind word, a cup of coffee, and a meal, and that sometimes that's all people need to make it to the next day. Sometimes their prayer was, God, show me that somebody sees me and values me and cares. And then here you come along and you answer that. Sometimes that's all it is to get to the next day. We got to let that ego go. Let that desire to stunt and show people, I'm not by myself. I got a man, baby. You might be entertaining. Be careful who you're entertaining. Act accordingly, because you might be entertaining an angel. You might be entertaining God wearing the flesh of someone, but you also might be entertaining the devil. Pray to God for the wisdom and discernment to know the difference. Try the spirit by the spirit. I love you guys. As always, it's been a pleasure. I pray covering and anointing over each and every one of you, that we may never fall prey to something like this. Renee said, I want to do feminine hygiene packs for homeless women and get luggage for foster kids. Working on it. Magnificent. And perhaps let's do that. Let's do that together. Let's make a collective. I'm going to talk with the headmaster, 𝐒𝐢𝐧𝐞. Let's make a collective thing and do that in our respective cities. And we'll do it under the guise of the umbrella of the Nerd Herd. And let's get that done. We can all be a blessing to someone. We can all be a blessing to someone. It is so sad that this woman had to endure this. All she wanted to do was love somebody and be loved. And my God, reparations, how you doing, my love? That's all she wanted to do. Bethany said, it took me a long time to learn what it is about me picking the wrong type. Absolutely. A lot of times people usually pick who mama and them would like, who daddy and them would like, the lady at the church would like, auntie would like, and we have to stop. Let's normalize not gaslighting people. When you come to the family cookout or you come to Thanksgiving, and they'll be like, you still ain't got no man? When you gonna get a man? Let's normalize not doing that. And if somebody in the family does that, say, don't do that to them. They are fine when all they have to do is wait on God to present that person to them, and don't feel compelled to snatch any old body because mama and them or some, listen, let's be honest. What happens to toxic young people? Unless they submit themselves unto God and change their ways, they become toxic old people. We got toxic ass old people. Remember that. Reparations said, Ashe, Asheo. Leilani said, amen, hallelujah. Thank you, Natanya. We'll catch the replay. Have a blessed night until the next one. Absolutely. V Jack said, hearts, carrots, and hallelujah hands. And Right Sound said, LOL. And Mocha B ended it with a, hey, look at my niecey poo coming in a home run. Thank you for the $20 super chat, my love. She said, you are the dopest nerd, dopest auntie, and dopest in the land, my lady. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and wisdom with us. You could have been anywhere doing something else. By grace, you are here with us. You are loved. Thank you, my love. I love you too. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for that. I will always end up picking my dad and his behaviors with men. I've been working on myself to see the signs. You know what? That's going to be another topic. We'll talk about that, how we choose who we end up with. Shout out to Mocha B for the $20 super chat. Guys, be sure to send a love offering to your headmaster, 𝐒𝐢𝐧𝐞, $KAYLIGG. Send her, buy a nice meal, a cup of coffee, whatever. Send a blessing. We don't mind. No amount is too small. Send that love. Now we thank you all for being here with us. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with us, and we love you. May God bless everyone at the sound of my voice. May we all find the personal strength to overcome the subconscious programming that has been jammed in our head and told to us that we are. May we look in the mirror, strip ourselves down of all makeup, pull your hair back in a ponytail or pull it back off your face, strip yourself of all makeup. Just look in the mirror at yourself every day, morning, noon, and night, and say, you are beautiful and I love you. I love you because you are amazing. You are helpful to people. You are kind. You love yourself. Talk to yourself. Look in the mirror and tell yourself you are gorgeous. You are beautiful. You have an amazing spirit. You are blessed. You are a child of God. You are. Talk to yourself. I'll be like, come on, Locks. I see you. Okay, girl. Listen, I did my hair yesterday. I did a treatment for hours. And me and my daughter stayed here and luxuriated. And my daughter will tell you, if telling someone that they are beautiful, and I don't mean just aesthetically beautiful, but her spirit and her heart and her soul is beautiful. I tell her, you are gorgeous. Look at you, beautiful. Oh my God. She be in that skincare regimen, honey. So I'll be like, your skin is glass. Oh, shout out to the people in the Nerd Herd. Shout out to my girl, 𝐒𝐢𝐧𝐞, the headmaster. And shout out to people in Nerd Herd for sending Nirvana things off of her college wish list. 𝐒𝐢𝐧𝐞, before we jump off right now, can you drop that in the chat? And Nirvana's gonna record a little message for you guys. We're gonna come on and do a little quick live one, probably tomorrow, and she's just gonna talk to you guys about her going off to. I got 20-something days, guys. Pray for me. 20-something days. Ooh. Honeybee said, "Asheo" with the praying hands. Absolutely. Loving Kindness says, no one loves me like me. Hey, now tell them, girl. Now that's what I say. Nobody can love me like me. Listen, nobody tells my secret. I never tell my secrets to nobody. I don't betray myself. I don't treat myself foul. I am very, very understanding with myself. I talk to myself. I forgive myself. I forgive others. I'm my bestest friend in the whole wide world, baby. I love me. And I talk to myself and be like, girl, run. He look like he ain't shit. Girl, you feel that energy, stay away. Don't you answer that phone, girl. Don't you answer him. Yes, I do all those things. I'll be like, now you know you are too important. God would never do you like that, don't you? Girl, you know we don't let nobody spin the block. Don't answer that phone. Like, yeah, I have those conversations with me because, baby, I'm my biggest cheerleader. Reparations said, Ashe, thanks, beautiful soul, Natanya. We're just waiting for 𝐒𝐢𝐧𝐞 to drop that thing in the chat for Nirvana. If you should be so inclined to get Nirvana something off of her wish list, we were packing her bins today to go off to college. I'm proud of her. I'm happy. You are daughter of the Most High God and blessed. Thank you for my therapy tonight. You are welcome, my sister. Each one teach one. We all sink or swim together. None of us escapes this thing. We sink or swim together. I love y'all. I love y'all. Thank you, Keisha. It's great to have you as a friend too, boo. You know I love me some Keisha. What I always say, you ain't got no Keisha, baby. Ain't no party without Keisha. Okay? None. Reparation says self-pampered. Yes, girl, the most important thing in this world. Too hot for TV. That's right. You got to pamper yourself. You got to give yourself a nice facial. I did some bentonite clay, baby. I did that bentonite clay. I was feeling good. You know, that thing started pulsating. And it will pull out the toxins. Bentonite clay is a binding. When you flush your body, you need to take a binder and pull that toxins out too. So don't forget that part of it. I love you guys. Okay, we'll put it up tomorrow. We'll do the thing tomorrow. She probably doesn't have the link right here. But, you know, guys, I love you all. Lord willing and the creek don't rise. Tomorrow, please, God, I will see you all again. Everybody sleep well. If it's morning for you, grand rising. We don't even say morning. Grand rising. If it's AM, grand rising. If it is night, sleep well. Make sure you talk to the Most High God. Let him know that you love him and you stand under his authority and dominion. Hey, look at the headmaster sliding in the whole play. Listen, baby, the headmaster don't play, honey. She keep sometimes y'all hear my phone ding in the background. She be hitting me with that countdown. Bing, bing, bing. Time to get you behind offline. Nirvana's college wish list. Guys, this is the link. If you would be so kind as to get your girl something off her wish list for college, because you know, baby, mama got to hit that tuition and all that stuff. And woo, child. But you know, God always provides. God always provides. And so I thank you in advance for everyone who was a blessing to her. Thank you to Auntie K-Leg, Tia K-Leg, who looked out for her girl. We appreciate you so much. Nirvana was so pleased and so blessed. And we just love you, girl. You know you're my booski. And shout out to everybody else. Like I said, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Tomorrow, please God, I will see all there. Love your family, love your friends, but most important, love yourself. Reparation said, Nirvana sending you off with the greatest love and blessings. Thank you. May you shine. Indeed, indeed. God has blessed me. I hit the womb Powerball. I'm eternally grateful. And I thank you all. Love you guys so much. Mocha said, my coworkers laugh when they greet me. Good morning. And I say, Grand Rising. If you don't know, now you know. Hey, tell them, girl. Tell them. Keisha said, all I know is I enjoyed all the supporters. It means the world to me. And we, again, our condolences on the loss of your baby. We're so sad that, but he's in the big play yard in the sky. God has taken him home to be with him. He said, good job, good and faithful servant. And God will provide. Signing off on behalf of myself, the Nerd Herd, the Headmaster K-Leg said, good night, Nerd Herd. We appreciate your time and engagement. Tomorrow, please God.